Qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhillard.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain event.
Guess what time it is? My time. You can check your iPhone. Better say it's our time.
With your host, Jason Swain.
My man.
Real sports talk for the real sports fan.
All you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him.
It's time for the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Give me 2 pounds and a Ric Flair.
Swain Event, SwainEvent.com, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. It is Valentine's Day. Ben, Stokes, are y'all prepared for today? Are y'all prepared for Valentine's Day?
Oh, of course.
I am.
Y'all are?
What about you, Swain?
Yeah, man, I'm prepared. I mean, I just need to go to Target after the show, but other than that, I'm good, baby.
You know what you're gonna get. You just gotta go get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's in my mind. It's in my mind, and then I gotta go put it in my hand after I give the cashier money in their hand. Yeah. I mean, I got it all worked out in my head. I just gotta go do that thing. You know, like pay for it and stuff, and go get it.
Right.
But yeah, I'm good. I got it.
I'm starting to get this marriage thing somewhat down pat as well as I can, because me and the wifey both agreed to not get gifts, but I got her a gift anyways.
There you go, Ben. There you go.
That was a good move.
That is a good move, man. That's the time when you're sneaky.
Yes.
That's the time when you're sneaky. Or like when you sleep and you want to watch SportsCenter. Yeah. You sneak around and watch SportsCenter while she sleep. That's another time when you sneaky too. But that's good, Ben. You're getting it, man.
Thank you.
That's most of it is saying, "You right, baby." 75% of marriage is that, but I think you're nailing the other 25%, Ben.
Thank you.
I think you're good to go. My man Stokes is on the Swain Event hotline this morning. It is Friday already. My goodness, man. I don't know about South Carolina, but in Knoxville, Stokes, kids have been out of school half the week anyways because of raining and flooding. So the week has kind of flown by. But good morning, man. It's good to have you.
Good morning, brother. They were out of school like late last week, Friday, because of all the flooding and stuff on Thursday. But then it's been raining here, but it's not been like relentless. So thankfully they've been at school all week.
Well, you're in South Carolina. Tennessee plays South Carolina this weekend. The Lady Vols played South Carolina a couple days ago. That didn't work out.
No.
The Lady Vols played LSU last night. That didn't work out. Here's an opportunity for the men's team to go down to South Carolina and get on at the same time. But here we are today, and a lot has changed since you've been on, especially with the Tennessee coaching staff. It's a brand new staff, Stokes.
Well, it's just Winky and Niedermeyer from the original staff. That's all that's left, isn't it?
And Will Friend.
Yep,
and Friend.
Yep, that's it.
That's insane. It is a brand new staff.
Brand new.
But it's been it's a double-edged sword to see coaches leave. Like, you don't want to see coaches leave, but if there's a better fit for that coach somewhere else, or it's a better opportunity, a step up in position, then you totally understand it. And you as a head coach, you want your staff to be able to get promotions and stuff. That's good. What I've been impressed with is the swiftness in which the new hires were made.
I know, man. I know Rump and Rocker may not feel a certain type of way, but I mean, I know I would if I got replaced that quick. I mean, I want you to struggle a little bit. I mean, if I'm Tyson Helton, I kind of feel good about myself that it took a month or so to find Jim Chaney. I felt pretty good. Oh yeah, look at him. Look at him. I did do a good job my first year. That wasn't that bad. Yeah, Look at you. Can't find an offensive coordinator. But Rocker and Rump, my goodness, Pruitt replaced them in less than 24 hours.
Yep.
He was prepared. Yep.
Prepared. I like it. I like a plan being in place.
So we got that, man. Brand new staff for sure. And spring practice is right around the corner. March the 8th, right? Is that right, Ben? March the 8th? I think that's right. Somewhere around there?
Yeah, sounds right.
It's right around the corner. And you got your winter workouts going on. And you better have all your coaching staff in place at this point because you have your mat drills. You got to go over install, things like that. And the new coaches have to learn. I'm pretty sure Shelton Felton's going to just fit right on in.
He's going to learn today.
I'm not sure about Brumbaugh and kind of where he is as far as knowing the defense of Pruitt. I'm not 100% sure, but pretty sure Shelton Felton should fit right on in. Stokes, can you say Shelton Felton 5 times in a row real fast?
Shelton Felton, Shelton Felton, Shelton Felton, Shelton Felton, Shelton Felton.
Man, everybody's pretty good at this, man. Good job.
That's tough, though. Like, I had to concentrate.
You almost said something you shouldn't say?
Yeah, it doesn't just roll off the tongue.
What about Jimmy Brumbaugh?
No.
Like Austin Price said earlier this week, that's the harder one to say, to me at least, and I agree with Austin on that one.
Yeah, that's tough.
Brumbaugh.
Coach Bruh.
Yeah,
Coach Bruh.
That's what we're going to call him. Here we hit. We're going to call him Coach Bruh.
What up, bruh?
Hey, bruh. Bruh.
What up, Coach Bruh?
That's it. There you go, Stokes. You got it, man.
That's it.
You got it. Oh, my goodness, man. Tennessee, South Carolina this weekend. Got to have this win because you still got, well, you know what? Florida's not even that good to me. They're just inconsistent. They're not good. I'm sorry, man. They're inconsistent.
They have more talent than Tennessee, and that scares me.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you're good. Most teams should have more talent than Tennessee. I mean, Georgia has more talent than Tennessee, but who's playing better basketball right now? Even though they beat us when we played, having more talent doesn't always mean that you're going to win. Don't make me pull up 2016 Tennessee football team.
I knew we were forgetting a team the other day when you said Arkansas was the worst team in the league right now. Georgia's the worst team in the league right now. Arkansas would beat Georgia today.
I don't know, man.
Georgia is terrible. They scored 5 points in like the first 15 minutes of the game the other day.
I don't know, man. Arkansas was bad.
Nah, I don't think
they're real bad.
I don't think they're as bad as Georgia. Georgia's terrible.
Ben, Arkansas's best player was the one who was shot putting free throws.
That was, like, what kind of form was that?
I don't know, man.
That was not
chest pass the ball into the hoop? Like, what are you doing?
Yes, it was Arkansas's best player, Ben.
In that particular game?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, I was going to say Mason Jones and Isaiah Joe are the two best players on that team.
Well, Mason Jones did exactly what Jim Moore Sr. said. He did diddly poo.
That is true.
He did diddly poo in the game. So he was not the best player that night. The best player that night for Arkansas was a guy who shoots like a 4-year-old toddler.
Jimmy Witt Jr.
And he was giving us buckets. And he was 69% from the free throw line shooting like that
Nice.
too. It was like he was shooting a bowling ball.
We do play Florida at home, so that does make me feel better.
I mean, I'm not entirely scared of Florida, but they are more talented.
Stokes, Swain, how many wins do you think Tennessee needs to get to be back on the bubble and arrive at the SEC tournament with needing to win a game or two to make the NCAA tournament? They're at 14 right now.
10.
They have 7 games remaining.
10.
What number do you think they need to get to in order to have a good chance at making the tournament?
I mean, they're going to probably have to. They're probably going to have to win 4 or 5 of their last 7, and then win a couple in the SEC tournament.
That's what I was thinking. I think they have to get to 18 by the SEC tournament, and then probably win 2 in Nashville. They have to get to 20 somehow.
Do you see it happening?
No, because the last 7 games are challenging. At South Carolina, home against Vanderbilt, at Auburn, at Arkansas, home against Florida, at Kentucky, home against Auburn.
Yeah, this is not the football schedule. This is not the back end of the football schedule at all. At all. I mean, Tennessee football was playing, Vanderbilt, who was sorry. Missouri had a quarterback with one leg, basically, that team was beat up. And, listen, they rallied as much as they could and gave Tennessee a little bit of problems there in the fourth quarter, but Tennessee found a way to win. But Missouri's defense was one of the best passing defenses in the country. And then Kentucky went full Navy on us with the triple option and had opportunity to really beat us if they would have hit a pass. They got picked off by Najee Warrior.
That Kentucky game was so annoying.
Yeah, I mean that. So Tennessee didn't play the toughest teams in the SEC down the stretch, but for the basketball team, it's kind of in reverse because you're playing Auburn, who is probably the best team alongside Kentucky. But I would say they're the best team because they beat Kentucky. But you play Auburn twice, and Auburn they just don't lose, man. They just don't lose in games where they're pushed all the way to the brink. They find a way to win. So you play them twice, and then you play Kentucky again at Kentucky, and you know how the referees are. And then you play Florida at home. But you do play at Arkansas, Ben.
That'll be a challenging game. I don't feel great about Tennessee's chances. It's on the road, and Mason Jones is not going to go 1 for 10 again. And they'll probably have Isaiah Joe back, who is a finalist, or I guess a semifinalist. He was on the list of like 10 shooting guards for the best shooting guard in college basketball this year.
He's good. And then, Vanderbilt won't be a 20-point game, I don't think, either.
No, they should win that game. Although Vanderbilt is improved, and obviously they're playing carefree in the sense of they don't have anything to lose, and you can tell by the way they're playing right now that they don't have anything to lose. They are improving. So Tennessee will win that game, I have no doubt, but it'll be a little more challenging than maybe we expected a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we shall see, my friend. All-Star Weekend is this weekend. Anybody watching All-Star Weekend? I mean, there was a time when we were younger that the dunk contest was must-see TV, but who knows who's in the dunk contest now? No one wants to participate in it.
I know Aaron Gordon's back in it. I think Derek Jones of the Heat is in it.
And Dwight Howard's in it.
Oh, yeah, Dwight Howard's in it.
Oh, Dwight Howard.
Yeah. He's in it.
Okay. It's, oh, my God. Dwight Howard, Derek Jones Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Pat Connaughton.
See, I figured Zion would have jumped at the chance to be in it.
Not with that injury he battled.
I know he just got back from the injury and everything, but seeing all that in a dunk contest would have been hilarious and fantastic because dude's good. It sucks that he got injured.
Yeah, I was frustrated that Ja Morant turned down the dunk contest invite as well.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But Aaron Gordon has put on a show before in the dunk contest.
He can dunk.
Derek Jones Jr. can fly as well from the Miami Heat. And then Dwight Howard, he's old, but he's put on a show in the dunk contest before too.
I don't like the way you said that, Ben.
I mean, he's old.
Stokes, I don't think I like the way. I don't like Ben's tone this morning.
I mean, he's putting out dust walking onto the floor.
You catch that? And then he looked at me too.
You talking about?
You look forward, man. Look at the cameras. Don't be over here looking at me when you said that. Why you say that like that?
Because he's old.
Nah, you gave me a look.
Don't bring Swain and I into this old conversation.
I didn't. Swain brought himself into it.
Nah, you looked at me funny. You looked at me funny when you said it. You was like, he's old. Talking to you. He's 34 years old. I don't like the way you said that, Ben. I don't like your tone this morning.
I apologize.
865.
Dwight Howard in basketball years is old.
He is. He's 34 years old.
But he's put on a show before in the dunk contest.
I don't like tall dudes in dunk contests. You 6'10", 6'11", you supposed to dunk. And it just doesn't look right when tall dudes dunk. You got to be about 6'4", 6'7", in that range. And the shorter, the better. Muggsy Bogues and not Muggsy Bogues, but Spud Webb when he won the dunk contest. That's
when they're truly getting air.
Yeah, Nate Robinson, guys like that. It just looks better when those guys dunk. John Wall won it a couple years ago. It just looks better when the shorter guys dunk.
I will be watching All-Star Weekend. I'm excited for the Rising Stars game because the Grizzlies have 3 players in it, and Zion will be playing in it. Ja Morant and Zion will be on the same team, and that will be must-watch TV in my world. So I'm excited for that tonight.
Let's just say you were a Memphis reporter. Let's just say that you covered Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say there was media availability.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that Ja Morant was in the center of the circle, being interviewed by media members. Would you look at Ja Morant the same way you looked at Juwan Jennings?
I didn't look at Juwan Jennings any sort of way. I was laughing at Juwan Jennings talk about him being the juice man.
I've seen the picture.
You saw a screenshot. Somebody caught me mid-laugh.
Too excited. Your eyes were lit up. His eyes smile.
You're smiling?
It's fake news.
Screenshots don't lie.
I was laughing. Screenshots do lie because you can catch somebody in the middle doing something they're not really doing.
Gotta take a break, man.
Ladies, get you a man that looks at you the way Ben looks at Juwan.
Oh man. Hour 1 is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical here on a Friday. Tennessee, South Carolina tomorrow. Tennessee and LSU was last night. That was a weird game last night. That was weird. Not good at all. This roster's just a little weird. Taylor Harper has some work to do with the roster.
Mm-hmm.
Got some work to do. Need some more ball handlers. Need another Renee Davis.
A healthy Renee Davis.
Yeah, she didn't look herself. She didn't look herself, but need some different players. Need a different roster. Not the entire roster, but just some pieces don't fit with others. You can just kind of tell.
Just say it. They have a couple of players who are terrible, who should never have been offered a scholarship to play for the Lady Vols.
Man, today is Valentine's Day.
I don't care.
Today's Valentine's Day, man. Today's all about love and being nice.
They're slow. They can't make a free throw. They can't shoot a jump shot. They turn the ball over. They dribble it off their foot.
I'm nice.
I can't wait for them to graduate.
Oh, my
so annoying to watch.
No, I'm being nice. Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call criminal defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty. Say Garza. 865-540-8300. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare. We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Incipico, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technicians to see how we can get your phone working today.
Good morning, Swain event listeners. It may be cold outside, but the local real estate market is hotter than a Times Square Rolex. If you have questions or are ready to move forward with buying, selling, or investing in real estate, then give me a call. Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904, or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
You're listening to the Swain event.
And you know this, man!
Swain event fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Hour 1 is brought to you by Healer Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. A week from signing day, Mel Tucker bolts to Michigan State, and I don't blame him one bit for getting that money. We did not have Stokes on the program last Friday, so we did not get a chance to get your take on signing day and the class and what you like about the class. Stokes, we had a good time at Dead End Barbecue.
Of course.
Yeah, it was rocking. We had a good time, man.
I wanted to be there, but there was no way I could get off work.
Oh, yeah, man. I understand. You could have rolled with Vol Nation, though. Vol Nation, his car was hit by somebody.
Sideswiped.
Sideswiped, okay. And he sure wasn't that angry about it because he got a Camaro as a rental car. I didn't know you can even do this. But he got a Camaro, and Vol Nation was holding the steering wheel like it was his car. And he got on down here to Knoxville and got on back up to South Carolina, but he was here. And I mean, you could have rolled with him if you got off work. But
no doubt.
We understand, man, and it was a good time. Appreciate everybody coming out. We had a really good time, and Tennessee got 2 players that day. and Tennessee still looking for our Zach Evans commitment. Also, since then, we've had some players around the country hit the transfer portal, and one that everyone's paying attention to is Chase Hayden, the son of Aaron Hayden, former Tennessee running back great. And so, Stokes, give us what you like about the signing day class, and give us your take on potentially getting in Chase Hayden.
I would not be upset if Chase Hayden decided to come be a Vol for his remaining eligibility in college. I think it would be great to have another legacy. He's a really good player, and I think he could help Tennessee out. It'd be fantastic. I'm a support him wherever he goes, no doubt about it. But it'd be nice if it was in orange and white. As far as the class goes, man, I think it was a good class. Jeremy Pruitt and I guess his former staff have been kind of, did a great job on the recruiting trail. I hope all the pieces of this new staff can recruit at a high level. I really like the receivers in this class. There's a lot of athleticism going on there, and which is good because you're replacing some really good athletic guys. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be about. Excited about the future of the quarterback position. Hopefully, everything the hype is lived up to. At least if Bailey can live up to 75% of the hype around him, since he's going to be in a good spot. But those are the things I like about the signing class. It's just weird with signing day now because the early signing day, and that's where all the excitement is right now.
Yeah,
because it's new. So I don't know if it's going to be interesting down the road to see if that continues to be the trend, or if some of the top players continue to hold out until
period. And we had some local kids here that kind of was like casualties of the recruiting process because of what happened in Arkansas, and so they were looking for a place to go. And it's December. It's January, December, and a lot of schools only had 1 or 2 spots, and those spots were, I guess, reserved for the highly rated prospects that they were trying to swing for the fences on. Just like Tennessee,
right.
We had 1 or 2 spots, and we're trying to swing for Weidman and Zach Evans and guys like that, and so it put those players in a really bad spot, but it also took a lot of excitement away from what signing day used to be. Signing day used to be a day where, it reminded you a little bit of like the NFL draft, where your team will be picking and either super, super excited or you're down in the dumps, but at least you had an emotion one way or the other. Signing day now, it's just because of the early signing period. You know that 95% of your class is already done. So, we had talked about, okay, should we move the signing day celebration at Dead End Barbecue to the early signing period, or should we keep it the same? Still haven't came up with an answer yet, but National Signing Day is just not the same anymore because of the early signing period. That's something we definitely know.
Well, one way to look at it is, what 99.5% of the class looks like because of early signing period. And then, you've got a couple of guys you're trying to flip or you're waiting on commitments for signing day. But what signing day can be is kind of a celebration of the class.
Mm-hmm.
It can be just a good time to talk about, hey, we know who's here. We're not there's not a chance of losing some of the top guys in the class because they've already signed with us. So you can just kind of celebrate the recruiting trail accomplishments, even though there's not that emotion of what if, as in abundance like there was, in years past. It's still a good celebration where that recruiting season comes to a close, and ball fans can get together and have a good time and celebrate the wins on the recruiting trail and look forward to how those guys could make an impact in the next year.
Stokes is on the Swain Event Hotline with us this morning. It is Stokes. It's Jason Swain here, obviously, and Ben McKee. South Carolina received their notice of allegations in basketball. Remember the whole FBI investigation? Kansas is really like the blue blood team that is in the crosshairs there. But South Carolina is kind of in the mix too, because the NCAA is alleging that former South Carolina assistant Lamont Evans was paid a bribe during his tenure in Columbia. The NCAA claims that Evans took at least $5,865 from former agent Christian Dawkins. So,
a very specific amount.
Yeah, well, I mean, why are you messing with South Carolina? Go mess with the folks that's really causing some damage here.
Yes.
How did Zion get to Duke? Kansas lost out on the bid to Zion. To who? If you know Kansas is out here offering money and they lost out on the bid to Zion, shouldn't you be looking at the school that won the bid for Zion? I mean,
correct.
That's what I would think. But we know how they're gonna do. They're gonna slap the small school. They're gonna probably slap South Carolina basketball.
But and then the other two schools, and you mentioned South Carolina, but Clemson was also kind of thrown into the mess. Remember, they had the former assistant coach that spoke on record and talked about some offers that were thrown out of sorts. So you've had Clemson, South Carolina, and Kansas all receive evidence of them trying to offer Zion, yet nothing is done about Duke.
Nothing.
And I'm wondering,
and there won't be anything done about Duke.
No, absolutely not. Carolina's AD came out and issued a statement. It says, as expected, this does not involve any institutional current coaching staff or former or current student-athlete eligibility issues. We will continue to defend our program and institution in this process with the NCAA. So, South Carolina, you better learn you a good lesson from Missouri. Maybe it's best not to cooperate, because if you cooperate, they may hit you even harder. So, somebody got to get a penalty. We would hate for the Blue Bloods to get in trouble here. But, yeah, that happened over the last couple hours in the world of college sports. Tennessee, I guess it's official. This report came out last week from, I want to say it was Football Scoop, put this out about Director Ops Todd Watson. He will be assuming a different role for Tennessee football, and Tennessee football is bringing in Andrew Warsaw, who will be the new Director of Football Ops. He's coming from Mississippi State, working for Joe Moorhead. So he's going to be coming from Starkville to Knoxville. Man, what a come up. Imagine living in Starkville and then you get a chance to move to Knoxville.
Feels like he hit the lottery.
Starkville,
Mississippi.
To Knoxville. That's like not having any shoes. And then someone taking you to the store and say, hey, pick out those new Jordans, man. They all yours. What? What? That's like eating Spam with A1 sauce. And then someone's like, hey, man, I'm going to take you to the steakhouse restaurant right here, and you can get the best steak on the menu. That's a come up, man. That is a come up. Starkville.
He's not going to know what to do with himself.
Starkville to Knoxville. So another change with Jeremy Pruitt's staff. So the Warsaws gave a statement, and my family and I are thankful for our time in Starkville, and we enjoy being a part of Mississippi State University. With that being said, we couldn't be more excited for our next chapter on Rocky Top at the University of Tennessee. It's an honor to be part of a program with such rich tradition in the best fan base in the country. Can't wait to get back. Can't wait to get to work for Coach Pruitt and this great staff. Go Vols, the Warsaws.
Stokes, what are your thoughts on so much coaching turnover from our perspective, because we are keeping up with Tennessee every day, each week, each month? It doesn't look as bad, but if this were going on at Kentucky or South Carolina or a school like that, we would kind of be raising our eyebrows. So what's your kind of thought on the perception of all the change that is going on with Tennessee right now?
I'm not going to lie. Every time you hop on Twitter and you see, well, Coach A leaving, Coach B leaving, Pruitt, on the hunt for a replacement for Coach C, it's a little alarming until you kind of dig into it and you're like, okay, that makes sense. This coach, got offered a better position somewhere else, and there's rumors sometimes of coaches not necessarily vibing together and not being a great fit, and you assemble a staff as a head coach initially. You have to assemble it pretty quickly. So some of it is real good hires, and some of it is the best that's available that you could get to come. Take what you can get kind of thing. And then after a couple of years, you establish yourself, and then, you can start to part ways with some of those guys and really settle into a better staff. At least you hope it's a better staff. So in some ways, on the outside looking in, you're not really, tuned in to everything going on campus. Yeah, it could be alarming. And I'm not going to lie, a couple of times I looked at it, I was like, why? This is everybody. Everybody's gone. And then you really start to dig into it, and you're like, yeah, that's not so bad.
I think I've been so prepared for these moves probably like mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, like mid-season, I was like, yeah. I started hearing that there's going to be some changes, and there were going to be some guys that's going to move on, whether it is Pruitt's decision or their own. I think two of them are maybe mutual. I think one of them is, Pruitt wanted, but he just wanted to leave. But
right.
I kind of prepared myself for these departures. So when it happened, I was like, okay, cool. But when you look at any time a program loses 4-5 guys, whether it's on the field, off the field, and one off season, yeah, I mean, you're going to raise your eyebrows a little bit. But we haven't been given any signs because there's not an abundance of information that flows out of football. Like this is a different regime where the previous regime
they control the message.
Yeah, like the public don't get every little thing here and there. There's not all these leaks or whatever, and you're not gonna get along with everybody all the time.
No.
So this notion that everyone is singing Kumbaya and sitting around roasting marshmallows and holding hands and singing together, like, no, that doesn't happen in this game of football. And so sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but there's a professional way of handling things, and at least that happened here. Now what Pruitt needs to do moving forward is get him a staff that he can trust. He can be the head coach instead of what Derek Dooley did, which was micromanaging, a little bit of what Pruitt did in his first year. So he's evolving, and if you trust these guys, that's the most important thing. Allow him to kind of be the head coach, be the overseer. That's what this football program needs right now. And Pruitt is making steps to doing that. But, yeah, I mean, the turnover is a little eyebrow raising.
And honestly, in the climate of college football now where, schools are firing head coaches after a single season and stuff like that, I mean, you're going to get immense staff turnover at multiple places every season now.
Yeah.
Because there's so many new openings coming, every single year, and they're going to get these coaches from somewhere.
You're right. No, you're right. Seth Stokes on the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline this morning. Ben McKee, Jason Swain right here in the Low T Center studio. Be right back. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. When you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suits your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it.
Craving flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at your local grocery store. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gluten-free select varieties like the cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy small-town flavor in every bite. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom's.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to OFOKnox.com. That's OFOKnox.com.
I'm Vince Moore, wide receiver, VFL 1991, and you're listening to the Swain Event.
Chip Payne. So that come up from Starkville to Knoxville is kind of like going from blank barbecue restaurant to Dead End Barbecue. Yeah. I ain't gonna mention that. I ain't gonna mention what Chip Payne said, but kind of like that.
We can put two and two together.
Kind of like that. Running says bag. back, Terry. I know what I was referring to there. Brad says, are the coaching changes different this time compared to when Dooley and Butch had mass exodus of coaches? Yes. I think with Dooley, remember Terry Joseph leaving. That was like the first sign for me. Like, whoa, y'all boys. Y'all are boys. So when that happened, and then when Chuck Smith happened, because Dooley and Chuck Smith was boys, and then when Chuck Smith gave the interview outside Nina Stadium, that was just really weird.
That was so odd.
We were sitting there watching that like we were watching a soap opera or something, man. We had our popcorn. We were like, oh my goodness, this is not good, but this is good. But
isn't that the interview he went third person on?
He went third person on it. Yeah. It was awkward, man. It wasn't good for Tennessee. Like, it wasn't good for anybody associated with Tennessee. I mean, a player that's a part of the staff, we know it always doesn't work out, but you don't want to see that. That was not a good moment at all for Tennessee football. But when Terry Joseph left, that for me was when the red flags start to fly. And then with Butch, when Mike Bajakian left, and then you had Coach Z left, and you had those guys that kind of started with him, that was a sign for me. That was a sign that something is not right. This feels a little bit different though. And you got to think about it. Even with some of Butch's departures, I mean, the team they were underachieving, but they still won 9 games, I guess. This feels a little bit different. It feels a little bit different because you can look at the recruiting and see that it needs to improve, and you can see some of the older coaches that were a part of the staff. They had recruiting success, years past, but here at Tennessee, just not enough of what Tennessee needs to kind of get over the hump. So you can see why the changes were made there. So it's a little bit different for me.
Let me ask you this. You're not going to want to answer this question.
Hey, man, I control the answer. I learned that from Bud Ford during my time at Tennessee as a player. I control the answer, Ben. You can ask me anything you want to. It don't matter.
I saw Bud Ford and spoke with him for a brief moment yesterday when I picked up my baseball credential.
Yeah, man.
Going back and looking at Jeremy Pruitt's first coaching staff that he hired, the coaching staff that he put together when he took the job. Looking back on it, what grade would you give it?
The initial staff?
The initial staff that is essentially no longer here. As Stokes mentioned earlier, it's just Chris Winkie, Will Friend, and who am I missing? There's a third one.
Niedermeyer.
The most important one.
How did you miss that one?
It's Friday.
Oh, man. That's a good question, Ben.
We know the answer. We just don't want to say it.
Oh, I do know the answer, and I'm going to say it. I don't care. Well, I'm trying to decide between a C and a D. I go C minus. I go C minus.
What about you, Stokes?
The initial staff, as I grade it now,
yeah.
C minus.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Swain on that. I go a little bit. I go a C, not quite a C minus, not a C plus, but just a notch above C minus. But it wasn't great.
I'd go D. Neither coordinator worked out. Technically, all 3 coordinators didn't work out if you want to include special teams. And on top of that, you really only...
I wouldn't count special teams.
I guess I was counting special teams because, like, in the NFL, that's like a legitimate position.
But it wasn't, like, terrible. The coach left to go to Alabama, and he just so happened
to
coach
special
teams.
That's right. I was thinking Kevin Shearer was the special teams coach initially.
No.
That's my fault. You're right. Charles Kelly was.
Charles Kelly.
But, okay, well, even the offensive coordinator and the defense coordinators, they didn't necessarily work out.
I think defense coordinator is fair because, Pruitt did kind of take over calling plays and, demoted Shera and brought in Derek Angel. So, yeah, that's fair.
And demoted Chris Rump, who is also the co-defense coordinator.
Okay.
It didn't feel like Chris Rump was a co-defense coordinator.
In practice, it did. In practice, he was doing co-DC things.
And then
with his friends
on the recruiting trail, really only one did anything.
The first year,
mm-hmm.
Only one got the recognition publicly, but I think a lot of groundwork had to be laid with David Johnson to have success in the second year from Memphis. But yes, only one got the public recognition, hit on some big prospects, and that was Brian Niedermeyer. That's fair.
Yeah. So his initial staff doesn't get a great grade from me, but he has been able to make some really nice hires since. So
well, I think a D is fair too, because Coach Pruitt had the offensive play sheet during the game on the sideline. like Big Germ took the play sheet from Helton. Give me this play sheet. I got it. That alone right there should be a D. So yeah, I mean, but here's the thing that Jeremy Pruitt gets a lot of credit for that Butch did not do. Like, Butch was stubborn. He refused to adapt. He refused to change. He felt like it was his way, and he had this infallible system, and the exact words that he used, and he would never change. Like, he wouldn't listen to anybody. And then when he did, he listened to the wrong people for the wrong reasons. At least Pruitt's like, yeah, I didn't do that right. Yeah, I could have done this better. All right, I'll take your opinion. Like, at least he's listened, and he's gotten better. And so that's the thing that's important. Like, he learned from his mistakes. But, yeah, as you look right now back at that staff, I would give that staff a C, because he didn't allow some of the guys to do their job. And that's something that he admitted. You know, he spent more time trying to coach every position instead of spending more time developing a relationship with his players. And that's not something he did because he didn't care about his players, but he just sat in a different seat being a head coach, and just so many other things you have to worry about as a head coach. You get phone calls at 2 a.m. from players who are in the backseat of a cop car. I mean, you get those phone calls now
because they forgot to take care of their traffic ticket.
Yeah, I mean, you get those calls, so it's different, and so he had to learn how to handle those things. So yeah, I think a D is fair. I mean, I would give him C-, but just that alone was just wasn't great. Wasn't great in Jared Garantano's development at all. I mean, when I saw a zone read against Vanderbilt that Jared ran and was getting up and was puzzled with the play call, I knew something was going on. Big Jeremy called that?
He did.
I think Jeremy think he playing Madden or something. I mean, so that happened. So, but this, this staff, and I've said it for weeks and weeks and weeks now, it ain't about names. We've had the Bob Schutz, we've had the Brady Hoax. For me, it's about the chemistry between the staff members. Tennessee's bringing back, and it's already brought back, Steve Caldwell. And so when Steve Caldwell hit some other schools after leaving Tennessee, I don't know if those schools are like, oh, Steve Caldwell, big name Steve Caldwell. But he was great here because John Chavis, Dan Brooks, those guys, Larry Slade, they can finish each other's sentences. They they coached together for so long, they had that chemistry. And that's what it's about. You look at Clemson, chemistry. And you don't have to have it to be successful, because we've seen other schools win without having it. Nick Saban, Urban had a little bit of turnover there at Ohio State, but not as much as the Nick Saban in Alabama. So for me, the most important thing with this staff, man, is the chemistry. And so bringing back guys that have worked with Pruitt, elevating guys who have worked with Pruitt, that's important to me. That's a really good question, Ben.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Really good question. Marvel Mahler says, thank you, Ben, for keeping it real about the Lady Vols. Unwatchable. Well, they didn't have double-figure turnovers yesterday.
That's because they had to put their 5-star point guard on the bench.
That was tough.
Stokes, is Tennessee going to beat South Carolina on Saturday, tomorrow?
I don't know. It's so hard to predict what Tennessee men's basketball is going to do right now.
That's for sure.
They're so up and down. I hope so.
Are you and the family going to try to make it over?
No. Watching that from the crib, and that's all right. But I'll be watching it intently, and we'll see what happens. Praying for that win.
I know what's going to happen, and Vescovi's he's going to put in some work.
Hey, that boy's good.
What about Olivier and Uros?
Why are you playing this morning?
Why you always lying?
Hey, man, you're not about to get me over here talking bad about Olivier Uros this morning. I'm trying to be nice on Valentine's Day.
Stokes, if Tennessee were to lose to South Carolina, your coworkers, would they mess with you about it?
Not too much, no, because they understand. Like, I got a couple of good friends of mine at work that are Kentucky fans, and they ain't really say anything because they know what the position Tennessee's in, and the fact that this is not the best squad Tennessee's had on the floor in a while. So it's kind of one of those, for them, hey, it's good that our team got the win, but we're not going to talk a lot of trash because, well, next year is probably going to be a little bit different.
Yeah. And probably they don't even care about basketball like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like the three South Carolina fans that are big fans at work that I know, one of them is a huge basketball fan, and the other two are more football fans that just still watch basketball too.
Yeah. Ooh, great point by Barker here on the text box. He says, "Thank God we have at least the same strength staff. Haven't had that to be consistent since former."
Mm-hmm.
And that's a huge point that we missed here. We should have brought that up earlier. Sorry about that, Barker, but great point there from Barker about the strength staff. That's been pretty consistent. Stokes, my friend, it is the weekend. It is Valentine's Day. So enjoy your evening, and we'll talk to you here in a couple days.
Brother, you know I will. Y'all have a good one.
All right, see you, man.
See ya.
865-255-03. We have Around the SEC coming up. We have Touchdown Turnover coming up. Do not go anywhere. Stay with us. We will be right back. Swain Event is fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Stay with us.
Touchdown or Turnover is up next on the Swain Event.
You're driving home, flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
We're here with Dr. Michael Carlson of Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine to discuss stem cell treatment and PRP. If you have orthopedic injuries such as shoulder pain, knee pain, Achilles tendonitis, or tennis elbow, you should give them a call.
That's right, Jason. We specialize in regenerative non-surgical orthopedics. So we treat damaged tendons, ligaments, and joints by using ultrasound-guided injections with stem cells or PRP. And this form of treatment actually stimulates the body's own reparative process and allows for healing of the damaged tissue.
So, Doc, what makes your training different than others?
Well, Jason, I've been practicing in Knoxville for 26 years, and I'm certified in interventional regenerative orthopedic medicine through the American Academy of Orthopedic Medicine. So unlike the big seminars that will advertise stem stem cells, fly someone in for a couple hours to talk about supposed stem cells that you order off of a shelf. Then they'll depart, leaving the patient wondering who will be the person injecting me and what their level of training is. At Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, I'm the one doing the procedure, and we're using your own bone marrow stem cells or PRP. So in other words, it comes from you and it goes back to you. So you know exactly what you're getting and know exactly the level of training involved.
Tennessee Regenerative Sports Medicine, trsportsmedicine.com. East Tennessee's leader in PRP and stem cell therapy.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
It is Valentine's Day here in the Swain event. We spreading love this morning, man. Spreading love this morning on the text box.
Except for the Lady Vols who don't need to be Lady Vols.
I'm showing love, man. I'm showing love. I'm gonna be nice today. It's Valentine's Day, Ben. Derek in North Carolina says, Ben, no one has this marriage thing down. It's probably a good point. We're still learning every single day.
In fairness, I did say I'm starting to get it down.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody ever has it down, but you learn to adapt and you pick up on things that you need to take care of.
That's right, man.
So the lady,
it is a process.
She's gonna have some nice nails next week.
Hey,
I know she's asleep right now, so I got a gift card to a nail bar.
There you go, man.
She's gonna be looking purty with them nails.
You learning, Ben. You learning. Tennessee against Arkansas. You had 5 players in double figures. Everyone scored more than 10 points in the starting lineup except for Jalen Johnson. Come on, Jalen Johnson. Everybody got in the club except you. We walked in the club looking all good, and Jalen Johnson outside the club. Get in here, Jalen Johnson. It's a party, man. Everyone's scoring more than 10 points.
He was too busy playing defense.
He was too busy blocking shots.
That's
Get
right.
that out of here. That's what he's. No, he said, give me that blank. He was too busy playing defense.
I love it.
But everyone had double figures. Fulkerson had 14. Jordan Bowden had 16. Pons had 12. And then Vescovi had 20. And then off the bench, Olivier Camois even got you 10 points.
His best game as of all so far.
Touchdown turnover. Tennessee will have 3 players. 3 players in double figures against South Carolina. 3. Just 3, Ben. Will Tennessee have 3 players in double figures, touchdown or turnover?
Touchdown. I'd say they go 4.
Ooh.
I think Santiago, Jordan Bowden, Yves Pons, and John Fulkerson all score double figures. Jordan Bowden has played good basketball the last couple of games. It feels like he is starting to come out of his shooting slump, maybe. I don't know. It's the weirdest thing.
Don't say that, Ben. Don't say it.
He'll make the hard, contested three-point shots, and then he'll miss the wide-open ones.
Yeah, like the layups around the ground. Don't say it,
yeah,
though.
He's good for one missed layup a game. But the thing about the missed layups, at least he's being aggressive and trying to get to the rim.
I agree.
And at some point, the layups will start to fall. And he hasn't been missing as many of late. I know he's a senior, and we don't need to be even pointing this out, but it's the little things. He's improving. I'll take it. Santiago is playing terrific basketball right now. John Fulkerson, he's going to put up at least 10 points. I think Yves will put up at least 10 points. So I say touchdown. I think Tennessee gets at least 3, but I'll go a step further and say they get 4.
Very important to know if Josiah Jordan-James is going to play. He did practice yesterday, but will he play this weekend? I think Tennessee definitely needs him for the stretch of games. Kentucky, Auburn. Is he ready to play tomorrow and be available during this stretch. Now, in Tennessee's first meeting against South Carolina, where Tennessee beat South Carolina by 1, the score was in the mid-50s.
59-58, I believe.
56-55. So don't expect offensive firepower. Don't expect Auburn versus Alabama from a couple nights ago when both teams was in the 90s. Don't expect that at all. In that game, Tennessee, South Carolina, earlier in the season, Tennessee had 3 players in double figures. Fulker, he gave you 15. Josiah Jordan-James gave you 10. And Vescovi gave you 13.
Fulkerson led the way with 15. That was not a very pretty basketball game. So I do agree with you that it won't be Alabama-Auburn, but I do think both offenses are playing much better basketball right now. That was such an ugly game. Both teams were terrible. Tennessee just happened to make one more shot. Remember, and that was the week that you and I talked about, or I think Brad was on the show too. We added up. Remember, we went back and looked at the 2 games on the console when they played Georgetown and
like the ugly offensive games,
remember that
low-scoring games. Yeah,
that one against Georgetown, they had like 37 points.
Mm-hmm.
So Tennessee made more shots in that game against Georgetown than it did against South Carolina in the first matchup. Tennessee only made 14 shots against South Carolina in the first matchup and still managed to win the basketball game 56-55.
It was ugly.
As you mentioned. It was ugly, but Tennessee was able to make one more play than South Carolina. I can't see in this fine print, but Tennessee was 14.
You're old, man.
No, this is just really small, and I'm getting old. Tennessee was 14 of 54 from the field, which for the game was 25.9% shooting. South Carolina was 32.8%.
You need some glasses.
South Carolina was 15% from 3. Tennessee was 19% from 3.
Losing your hair now you can't see.
I know. Just because I got to work with you every day. I'm kidding. It's these bright lights you got in here is just burning my hair.
Yeah, man.
But it'll be an ugly basketball game. Or, excuse me, it was an ugly basketball game. I don't think it'll be as ugly. Both teams are playing much better, especially South Carolina. South Carolina has been on a roll of late, and their redshirt freshman, Jermaine Couisnard,
he's been given the keys.
He's only averaging 11 per game, but in SEC play, he's averaging 16 per game, and he has been outstanding. I love A.J. Lawson and Keyshawn Bryant. I think those two are really good. They both can put up points. Malik Kotsar.
You love him?
Who? Which one?
You said you love A.J. Lawson.
I love their game, A.J. Lawson and Keyshawn Bryant. It's Valentine's Day. I'm trying to spread the love to everybody but the Lady Vols who don't need to be Lady Vols.
So you're not going to spread love to your own team?
I'll spread love to Lou Brown and Ray Burrell and Renee Davis and those young ladies, but not the other ones that don't need to be there.
Bagel, Terry. Will it revert, Terry?
Be careful, man. Be careful, man. Don't get yourself in trouble.
I like A.J. Lawson's game and Keyshawn Bryant.
He's their best shooter.
Which one, Lawson?
Lawson's the best shooter, and he only shot 2 3-pointers in the last contest and missed both of them.
Yep,
He's
shooting
0 for 7 from the field.
36% from 3.
Yeah, he's their best shooter.
And we know it's going to be a Rockets environment in Columbia.
It's going to be a night game. So I guess I can see it.
A stupid crow's going to be crowing.
15% from 3, and Tennessee was 19% from 3. Ugh. And we shot 31 3-pointers. We shot 31 3-pointers in the first game.
Rick Barnes talked about that at some point this week, how they're not shooting as many threes as they did at the beginning of the season.
Oh, my gosh. 31 3-pointers. Woo. That's a ton. I only made 6.
This is an important game. Obviously, every game this time of year is important, but Tennessee, as crazy as it sounds, and I don't necessarily think they'll end the season in the top 4 in the SEC, but they are still in contention for that 4th seed, which is crucial in the SEC tournament because you get the double bye.
Yeah, you do.
And right now, I kind of went through it yesterday. Auburn, Kentucky, and LSU are tied for first at 9-2. Florida and South Carolina are tied for 4th at 7-4, and then Mississippi State and Tennessee are tied for 6th at 6-5 in conference play. But they're only one game out of 4th place, and one of the teams that is tied for 4th place is South Carolina. If Tennessee is able to beat South Carolina, both teams will be 7-5 in conference play, but Tennessee has the tiebreaker with South Carolina because they would have beaten them twice. So as crazy as this season has been, Tennessee is still in contention for good seeding in the SEC tournament.
Are you calling this a make or break game, Ben?
No, I still think at the end of the season we will look back at the Texas A&M Mississippi State week, those two losses, as the make or break for Tennessee's season.
865-255-03, B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. Jake says, did you see the interview with Vescovi where they had him pronounce Olivier's last name? I saw like the tweet that had the video in it. I did not click on the video to actually see the video. So I will do that during the break. Because I think I saw like where he was already apologizing. And he was saying that Olivier's going to kill him for messing up his last name. So I look forward to seeing it during the break, and I'll report back.
I was talking to Devontae Gaines when it went on, so I did not see it.
What was Devontae Gaines talking about?
I was asking him actually about Santiago, if Santiago's craftiness in practice helps him in the game, and that craftiness, because he doesn't really see it in games, just how much that helps him defend guys like Mason Jones, who he helped prevent go off on Tennessee. Mason Jones went 1 for 10. Yep. And then I asked him about his shot selections and kind of his thought process in terms of going through the offense, because there's one play, one trip down the court in which he took a quick mid-range jumper, kind of fading away to his left, and Rick Barnes called him over with the quickness.
No, don't play that. He had a wide open three from the corner, but he just wasn't ready to shoot.
And he had a concerning quote when asked about that to me. He said that in his opinion, he doesn't need to be the one taking those shots.
No, he needs more confidence in his jump shot.
Yep.
But he wasn't ready to shoot, and he wasn't ready to be wide open. That's why, he just, his hands wasn't ready to shoot. He just wasn't ready to shoot, and that's why he airballed it the way he did.
I like Santi though.
Yeah, when Devontae gets in the off season and he's developing that jump shot like we've seen Kevin Punter do in Ponds, he'll feel more confident about taking that shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like Admiral probably felt that way his freshman year, but Admiral didn't see a shot he didn't like his senior year. But that comes with confidence. That comes with putting in that work. You earn that right to shoot it when you're open, or even when there's a hand in your face, but you get a good look and you're in rhythm, you let it fly. 865-255-03 B-Dry Waterproofing Hotline. So now we'll take a break and we'll check out that interview with Vescovi trying to pronounce Olivier Camois' name.
There you go.
I can say his name.
You say it better than his own teammate.
Hey, man. You don't need to know his last name. I'm sure he goes by a nickname.
Olivier. I think they call him O.
Yeah, I mean that's usually the way it works. I mean, I got teammates now. We call them by the nickname. To this day. Swain Event Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com.
Not in Knoxville? Not a problem. Download the free Swain Event app for iPhone and Android devices.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
If you're coming to Knoxville and need a place to stay, do yourself a favor and book a room at Hampton Inn Paper Mill, also known as the Hampton on the Hill. This award-winning property is literally in the top 5% of all Hampton Inn properties. The GM, Stephen Lawrence, is a good old local boy who grew up in the business around Knoxville. He and his staff are always available, always willing to help, and will go above and beyond for their guests. The newest Hampton Inn in Knoxville has clean, affordable rooms, flat screens, fridges, and microwaves in every room. Plus, breakfast is included in every rate. Not to mention, there's also a pool and fitness center on site. If it wasn't so close to amazing restaurants, bars, and shopping, you would never want to leave. At only 6 miles from campus, you're still right in where the big orange action is. Go to HamptonInn.com, search Knoxville, and book your room at the Hampton Inn Paper Mill or call 865-693-5400.
Hey there, Swain Event listeners. The new year is here, and it's that time for new beginnings and adventure, which may include buying, selling, or investing in real estate. If this is part of your 2020 plan, then give me a call, Jennifer Morris with Keller Williams Realty, 865-694-5904. Or email me at jennifermorris865@gmail.com. And go Vols!
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words: better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
I like your style. You remind me of a young me.
Failure is not an option.
That boy is good.
Homes, remind yourself, nobody built like you design yourself.
Attaboy.
All right, it's time for Attaboy here in the Swain event, highlighting positivity. And Ben, what you got today?
Going to the baseball diamond for my Attaboy. I'm giving an Attaboy to Garrett Crochet and Alric Solari, Tennessee's 2 best baseball players. They have been named to the Golden Spikes Award preseason watch list as announced by USA Baseball on Thursday afternoon. Crochet and Solari were 2 of 55 players named to the preseason watch list for amateur baseball's most prestigious award, joining 15 other players from the Southeastern Conference. Essentially, this is the Heisman of college baseball, and Tennessee's best pitcher, Garrett Crochet, and outfielder Alric Solari were on the preseason watch list, so this will be fun to keep up. Again, it is given annually to the top amateur baseball player in the country and consists of players from amateur levels ranging from high school to NCAA Division I. Crochet and Solari join Nick Senzel, Christian Stewart, Cody Hahn, and Kentrell Davis as the only Tennessee players to be named to the award's preseason watch list. So, and speaking of Garrett Crochet, Tennessee received bad news on him earlier this week, and it was announced yesterday that Garrett Crochet will not be pitching this weekend. Mike Wilson broke that news yesterday evening. Garrett Crochet, again, is Tennessee's ace, a likely top 10, top 15 pick, throws 100 mile an hour as a left-handed pitcher. Ridiculous stuff, but what I was told is he is dealing with shoulder soreness, and it's not believed to be serious. This is cautionary, and but could miss up to 3 weeks. So unfortunate news for Tennessee baseball.
I got 2 attaboys today. My first one goes to the Football Writers Association of America, FWAAA, because they created a new award in the memory of Edward Ashoff, who passed away on his 34th birthday, Christmas Eve. It was from an undetected non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in his lungs, and he had passed away suddenly. And the award is created to recognize one promising journalist no older than 34 years old, who not only has the talent and work ethic it takes to succeed in the business, but also the passion to make it better. Ashoff, a 2008 graduate of the University of Florida, loved people, and even as his career at ESPN escalated, he still got it and befriended younger journalists along the way. So Edward Ashoff, we've had him on the show before. I've probably spoke to him in private conversations more than his appearances here in the show. But he passed away on Christmas Eve, and that was a big hit. Chris Lowe looked at him as like a little brother. And so the Football Writers Association of America, they get an attaboy from me today for creating a new award in his memory. My next attaboy goes to LeBron James, because students from LeBron James's school, I Promise School, they got a huge surprise on Thursday, one that would impact their lives for years to come. Students in the 11th grade at the I Promise School, which is a tuition-free school in Akron, Ohio, James's hometown, were invited to spend the day at Kent State University. When they arrived in the auditorium, the teens were asked to look under their seats. Then, Oprah style, they found an envelope with a large surprise inside. I Promise partnered with Kent State to provide 4 years of college tuition free for qualifying students if they choose to go there. Students will receive a full year of room and board also for free. Man, I just got chills.
Very cool. That was one of my attaboys as well. LeBron just continues to do great things off the court. I know some people feel a certain type of way towards LeBron because of some other things he's done off the court. But if you can't recognize the greatness that he is doing in this, then I think you need to get over yourself, quite frankly. And I thought LeBron had a very cool quote last night when he said that this is the best thing that he's ever done.
Man, this is big. This is big time. So he gets my attaboy for today. I legitimately had chills just reading that, man.
It was cool. It was cool. I don't know if you saw LeBron talk about it last night, the clip that was going around, but he was having to fight back tears. It was really cool, and just simply talked about he was a kid who, yes, he had basketball, but if he didn't have basketball, he would not have had options to go to school. And there are many kids in and from Akron that don't have options to go to school, but because of LeBron's platform, now they do have options to go to Kent State, to go to Akron, to go to wherever they want, and it's going to be completely paid for all 4 years.
That's big time.
And
man,
as I just mentioned, LeBron ended the answer by saying, response or comment, whatever, by saying it's the coolest thing that he's ever done, the best thing that he's ever done.
That's big time. So that's our attaboy for today. Good stuff right there, man. Good stuff. 865-255-03. So during the break, I did watch the Vescovi, Santiago Vescovi interview where he was asked to pronounce Olivia Camwa's last name. Ooh, man. You know what? You don't have to pronounce his name correctly. Just throw the ball to him when he's open.
Call him O.
That's all that matters, right?
Oh, we're playing this The good people. You sent me something else, not the link to the video. I'm not sharing that.
It's Diarval's fault.
Diarval slid into my DMs with Allstorm last night and showed me the Valentine's Day graphic he made. All right, here's Santiago.
Oh man,
that's something that is hard. I still can't say his last name.
What's your best shot?
Nakamura. Yeah, I know he's gonna kill me when he says this. Sorry, bro.
Last name.
What did he say? He said like this.
What's your best shot?
Nakamura. Yeah, I know he's gonna. Nakamura.
That's the Spanish version of Olivier Camois.
Hey man, hey, whatever.
He doesn't know the N is silent.
Hey, whatever. Just call him O. You'll be good to go.
That is a video from Caleb No of WVLT.
Just call him O. You'll be okay. So I saw where Henry told To'o he has put his intentions out in the universe, and that is to take care of his mama in a huge way. And that means going to the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going to the league, taking care of his mother, and he'll have to wait 2 years to be able to do that. But this used to be a conversation on this show years ago. And fans, Tennessee fans, they look at Tennessee differently than sometimes student athletes. Because when student athletes are picking their school, when they're picking their college or where they want to go, they're picking a school that's going to fit them the best. And it's a selfish decision. Not one time will a coach recruit a young man and say, hey, you got to make sure you're a team player. We got to make sure that you understand, make sure that you can fit with the rest of the guys. No, if you're talented, that coach is talking to you about you and what they can do for you. They're recruiting you. And so it's all about you for months and months and months. And so as a prospect, as the recruit, you pick the best situation for yourself, the one that can help you get to your goals. And in some ways, you're just kind of using that college to help you get to your goals. And to me, that's okay. You can use my school to reach your goals. And while you're here, you can fall in love with the fan base. You can fall in love with the school. But we know that you're not going to have that love for that school at the beginning or even when you commit. You're picking it for business reasons. And I'm okay with that. Some fans may not be okay with that or kind of hard to see past their own feelings. They think every player should feel like them. Well, my dad was a Tennessee fan and my granddad was a Tennessee fan. And I remember going to Tennessee games when I was little and donate this amount of money and listening to John Ward on the radio and doing this and doing that. Well, not everybody's like you. Not every recruit's like you. Not every player feels about Tennessee like you do. So we picked Tennessee because they can give us what we want. We have a goal of playing in the NFL, and Tennessee provides the best opportunity for me to do that. Now, while I'm here, I'm going to understand the importance of the tradition. I'm going to understand how special the fan base is. I'm going to understand how special Knoxville is and this part of the country is. I learned that kind of during my time here. But I love what Henry To'o is putting out there. I want guys who want to play in the league.
Yes. I don't want you playing at Tennessee if you don't want to play in the league.
Simple as that. I remember when Trooper Taylor took over wide receiver coach, and he flat out asked us, hey, who wants to play in the league? My goal is to help you play in the league. And that was really the only conversation that I had heard or had at Tennessee, and this is my senior year, where coach was like, hey, we're trying to get you to the league. Our goal is to help you get to the league. And you don't have to be selfish if you have a goal of playing at the next level. You can still have your team goals. You can still be a leader. You can still be unselfish. But why not talk about it? Why not talk about, hey, man, here's the blueprint. This is how we're going to get you to your hopes and dreams. We sold you on hopes and dreams in your living room about getting to the league, but now that you're here, we're not going to bring it up? That don't make any sense. Well, now that you're here, we're not going to talk about the league, the NFL. No, we still going to talk about it. So my senior year was like the first time I had a coach like really talk about the league. And it was awesome because Troop was like, hey, man, the league, this is what they're looking for. Because if you do this, not only will it help you with your draft status, it's going to help our football team. So we want you catching the ball, making guys miss, and getting yards after the catch.
Tennessee has had too many players content with simply being Tennessee Vols over the last decade. And quite frankly, that's the problem with the Lady Vols right now. The Lady Vols have several players who are content with simply being Lady Vols and everything that comes with that and being associated with that brand, that they are comfortable and they don't continue to try and put in work and progress. And it's obvious which ones it is. And there have been several Tennessee football players that have done the same over the last couple of seasons. I can think of a former 4-star linebacker from Florida who was supposed to be the next great thing, who didn't do diddly squat when he was here at Tennessee. Maybe I think he recovered a fumble once. So if you don't want to get to the league, if you aren't trying to take care of your family like Henry To'oTo'o put that video out there saying that he wants to take care of mama.
This ain't over to my mom, to my mother, Rich. 2020, we're going to take care of you, GBO. That's what I want. Yeah, I want
every single player on the team.
I want dudes on my team that want to play the next level. Because you have to go over and beyond to be one of the best of the best of the best of the best to get there. You're going to have your role players who are just happy with being on the team and they'll know they're not going to play at the next level, and that's cool. But I want folks who are striving to play at the next level because that means they're going to put in extra work.
Yep.
That means they're going to be aware of things that they say, places that they go, their actions, because they don't want to mess up their draft status. I want dudes with ambition, dreams, goals. Let's talk about the NFL. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. I love it. Go get me some more Henry To'oTo'os. I want more guys talking about the NFL. 865-255-03. Be right back.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Around the SEC, powered by 42nd Street Marketing, your game-winning play call for design, marketing, and branding.
All right, it's time for Around the SEC this morning. Around the SEC is brought to you by 42nd Street, SD.com. 42SD.com is the website, specializing in website design, logo design, and print design. Ben, what we got today for Around the SEC?
My main nugget was the nugget that you brought up while we had Stokes on, and that being South Carolina receiving the notice of allegations for its basketball program, so I won't revisit that. Texas A&M defensive end Tyree Wilson has entered the NCAA transfer portal, according to AL.com's Matt Zenitz. 6'6", 260 pounds, played in 12 games last season as a redshirt freshman, making 12 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, and 1.5 sacks. He is a Texas native, was a 3-star signee in the class of 2018, and was ranked as the nation's number 23 weak side defensive end and the state of Texas's number 68 overall prospect.
One Swain event, man. Your nugget is my nugget. My nugget is your nugget, Ben.
That's right. And then I do have 2 Tennessee interesting related nuggets. So I guess the first one is Paul Feinbaum, and then it's Paul Feinbaum talking about Tennessee. But earlier this week, I don't remember what day it was this week. My days run together. But we talked about the possibility of Paul Feinbaum doing the sitcom thing and leaving his role with ESPN to pursue that. He spoke about the possibility and said to AL.com that they thought it would make a good sitcom, that being the show. These things are long processes. It turned out we had several conference calls and several meetings. They finally put a proposal together and made the rounds through intermediaries. Last August, we had meetings with the 4 major networks. They wrote it as a guy from New York who comes to the South, loosely set in Birmingham, someone with that mentality dealing with a different culture. That's the concept. One of the ideas was to have me married to a very Southern family, and just the conflicts of a New Yorker who was edgier than the norm. So among the future possibilities, including a sitcom, Feinbaum could leave ESPN for a startup similar to Bill Simmons' The Ringer, DAZN, or another media platform. So seems as if Paul Feinbaum leaving ESPN and the SEC network becomes realer and realer each day.
I think he's just creating some leverage to get a bigger check. We'll see.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch a Paul Feinbaum sitcom. I can promise you that right now.
Paul. And let me just. I want to be the guy who knocks on the door and just says, "Paul, Paul, Paul," the whole time.
Feinbaum was asked about Rick Barnes in an interview with Rick Russo, the sports director over at WVLT. And Paul said that he's amazing. I got to know Rick 30 years ago when he was an assistant at Alabama.
Yeah.
And I've followed his career throughout. I had such pride last year when this team was number 1 most of the season, and it showed what the program is capable of. I know this is a transitional year, but based on what I've heard here today, I think Tennessee will be number 1 again next year.
Number one in the country or number one in the SEC?
Number one in the country.
Based on what he heard in one day?
Yeah. Which just admits to not keeping up with Tennessee basketball. But
cool.
Cool story, bro.
Cool. Is that it?
Yep. Do you want to know about the basketball games this weekend? Who's playing?
Yeah. Yeah. Is Georgia playing? They gonna waste talent again this weekend too?
To be honest with you, other than Tennessee and South Carolina, I don't even know. But looking at the scoreboard for the weekend, Mississippi State plays Arkansas. Should be a good game.
Should be easy game for Mississippi State.
Ole Miss plays at Kentucky. Georgia plays at Texas A&M.
Oh, man.
That'll be an ugly game.
That will be.
This will be a fun game. LSU at Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
Auburn at Missouri.
Alabama should have won the first time.
Yes, they should have. Tennessee at South Carolina, obviously, and then Vanderbilt at Florida. Not a lot of really intriguing games. LSU, Alabama, Tennessee, South Carolina, and Mississippi State, Arkansas are really the only ones that intrigue me.
I got something that will intrigue you.
You got any chocolate for Valentine's Day?
Nah, man. I ain't giving no dude chocolate for Valentine's Day.
But I'm not a regular old dude. I'm family.
Yeah, I'm not giving no dude chocolate for Valentine's Day.
It's like giving your kid a piece of chocolate for Valentine's Day.
No, it's not. You're not my kid. You don't have a jump shot, so there's no way you're related to me.
I beat you in horse.
That's true. That's true, man. That's so embarrassing, man. That's so
embarrassing. So you lost to somebody in horse who doesn't have a jump shot.
Oh, that's so embarrassing, man. That was so embarrassing. You got lucky.
Okay.
I got something intriguing for you. I want you to pull up Tennessee's roster.
Football, basketball, baseball, softball, women's tennis.
What roster you think people care about around here?
Football.
Okay. Go pull up Tennessee's football roster.
Are you about to break news, Mr. Capital J journalist?
Nope. Absolutely not.
Okay, I've arrived.
I want you to stroll on down. Or is it list by?
It's numerical.
I want you to get on down there in the 20s.
To 27?
Get on down there in the 20s.
Okay, I'm in the 20s.
Now I want you to look at the number 24.
I'm looking at the number 24.
Who wears 24?
Aaron Beasley.
What position does he play?
Defensive back.
I thought about this yesterday. Aaron Hayden was 24 here at Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chase Hayden is in the transfer portal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Technically, you could have two players with the same number as long as they are not in on at the same time, and that would be a problem on special teams. So I can see that being a potential problem. But that number is open, just in case Chase Hayden want to rock his daddy's number. Just a thought. I'm not saying anything's gonna happen at all, because I think Tennessee. They got 7 running backs. A lot has to happen for it to happen. But I noticed that yesterday. I was like, let me just go check this out. 24 is available, just in case. Just in case. I don't know about the freshmen now. I don't know what numbers the freshmen got because those have not been posted. I know when I signed, I knew what number I was going to get fairly quick because Jason Witten declared for the NFL draft.
I think only the early enrollees know their number.
Okay.
Which is 4. Dominic Bailey, Harrison Bailey. Whoa, we have 2 Baileys in this class.
Did anybody get 24 yet?
I don't think the roster is updated. We won't get an updated spring roster until spring practice starts.
So keep an eye on 24 being open.
What if Harrison Bailey wears 24?
Then nobody else will be, that's for sure.
Harrison Bailey wore 5 in high school, correct? Yes, he did. He will not be wearing 5 at Tennessee. Josh Palmer wears number 5, so unless Palmer changes his jersey number.
I'm not changing my number for freshman.
No.
You're going to have to wait your turn.
Especially since I'm your go-to receiver, probably.
You're going to have to wait your turn.
The single digits that are available to Harrison Bailey on offense, number 1 is open.
Ooh, wait a minute. Did you say number 2 is open?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're not sorry.
I swear that was an accident. I did that accidentally.
No, Ben.
Yes, I was looking at Alontae Taylor on the roster, and
what's wrong with you today on Valentine's Day?
That was
You're
on
so
accident.
disrespectful, man.
Hey, I'm the one that thinks he's going to be the starting quarterback to begin the season.
You disrespectful on Valentine's Day.
That was by accident.
No, it wasn't.
That's the Friday coming out in me. Yes,
Nah, that was disrespect coming out of you.
I was only looking at Alontae Taylor's name, and I forgot that an offensive player can wear number 2 as well.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this over here. Look at this. I can't believe you. Perfect time to get on DR Vol. I'm assuming it's DR Vol by the conversation you guys are having.
Yes.
Okay. DR Vol, good morning.
So, guys, breaking news for Ben McKee, JG to transfer. Is that right?
Did you catch Ben with that accidental shot?
I caught that. I kind of liked it. Honestly, it should be a sound bit.
Can't believe Ben would do that.
I was trying to go through the jersey numbers, the single-digit jersey numbers that are available on offense, and I saw Alontae Taylor's name, and for some reason in my head, I just assumed that number 2 was taken on offense.
Now, Ben, you know those message board sheep heard that, and the radio cut off, and they went ahead and logged in and put that up.
TC's already tweeted it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, man. What's that? What's that GIF on social media where like Jim Carrey's at the keyboard, he's typing all hard and fast?
Oh yeah, that's Kermit the Frog, isn't it?
Well, it's one with Jim Carrey too, but and Kermit the Frog. But yeah, those are the folks
That's
that
TC
heard
right now.
That heard Ben's comment. It's like, oh yeah, this is good stuff.
You can't tweet that one out though, TC. People will take that one and run with it.
Oh
That's fact.
man.
Oh, that was well, you know, fellow man named Ben Stancliffe, Sab, has already heard it and said his brethren Ben said it, so it's got to be true.
No comment.
Well, guys, Swain, by the way,
hate.
I didn't send you chocolate, but I did send you a Valentine's card, so I want to make sure I want to get something in return. But
I did
what do y'all
get
think
it. I sent it to Ben.
Oh, gotcha. Well, Ben got it too. He didn't give me anything.
No,
I ignored you on purpose.
I see how it is. I think we're friends. I make shirts for my kids, but all that money drive that way, and I can't get nothing for Valentine's.
No.
I do have a good Valentine's story, but it's not radio appropriate. It involves the cops a few years ago. I have to tell you off there sometime.
Yeah, tell us off there, man.
Yeah, I'm not going to get you canceled, Swain.
Yeah, don't do that.
Was Neil and Mafia involved?
No. The Mafia could have been involved, not the Neil and Mafia.
Oh, man.
Guys, before I get to my question, I will say, Swain, I don't want to make you mad being an industry guy, but whatever it takes to get Feinbaum off SEC Network, I'm for it. I cannot stand his show with those callers.
Hey, man, I know people have really strong takes about his show. They either love it or they hate it. So
I can't stand it. I think he was just trying to, build the fan base up. I don't want Fairweather Feinbaum talking about our basketball team next year. But who do you think will be a worse loss by the end of the year, the Georgia loss or the A&M loss? Because I watched Georgia and South Carolina, and I don't know if it scared me about South Carolina tomorrow or it just made me more mad about the Georgia game.
I think the A&M loss is worse.
You think because it was at home?
Dude, it was at home, man. You just came off a pretty good performance against Kansas where you pushed Kansas to the edge. Kansas is a championship contending team. They're a top 5 team, and you are a possession or two away from possibly winning that game or sending it to overtime. And then you come back home and you played the way you played against Texas A&M. I mean, that...
Yeah, I think it was A&M too. You get out-toughed and allow, 23, 24 offensive rebounds to a team that was terrible on the offensive glass. And then with Georgia, Tennessee just didn't have it that night. Jordan Bowden was sick. John Fulkerson was sick. So it's just kind of a rough experience.
I just don't think that Tom Crean's a good coach. Just when I look at it that way, I guess it's all about perception. Because I think Buzz Williams is a really good coach.
I don't think Tom Crean's I think Tom Crean's overrated. All he does is stomp around the sideline. That's all he. I don't ever see him coach. I really don't. All I see is him stomp like a drill sergeant from one end to the bench to the other side. That's all I see him do.
I don't ever see him getting like upset for turnovers. Like I don't ever see him like have an expression after one of his players throw the ball out of bounds. It's weird. Like, he's always like super, super, super positive, which is important. You don't always want to tear your players down, but it just doesn't look like they have much discipline at all. And I don't understand how you have the number one player in the country, a potential first overall pick, and you're losing by 20 points to South Carolina. I don't get how you do that. I don't care if he's sick or not.
It kind of reminds me when LSU had Ben Simmons. And they didn't even make the tournament that year, did they?
And that's why Johnny Jones got fired.
Yeah. What do y'all think's bigger, Tom Crean's forehead or the empty space in Georgia's trophy case?
That's a good one, man. I'm going with the empty space in the trophy case, but I don't feel comfortable being part of those jokes because they beat us 41-0 in front of Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that's what we got to start winning. You know, when we were on that SEC losing streak, you couldn't talk crap to anybody, even Vanderbilt. So, well, guys, y'all have a good Valentine's Day, and just let me know I'm the true friend. I send a Valentine's card, even though I hate this holiday. So, y'all have a good day.
See you, man. Why you mad, Ben? Why you looking at me like that?
I don't know.
You gave me a look of death when I said that.
You ain't got to bring up the old stuff. It's
yes,
in the
I
past.
Do. Yes, I do.
No, you've brought it up plenty over the years. We don't need to continue to hear it.
Georgia's trophy case. That's 1980. If that's not the past, what is?
What does that have to do with us losing to them 41-0?
But making fun of their trophy case is bringing up the past. They haven't won one since 1980, and so I just don't feel comfortable making fun of Georgia right now when it comes to wins and losses until we beat them. I don't mind making fun of Kirby here and there, or some of the fans that just thought that, Jim Chaney was the worst thing that ever happened to them, and they would get better if Jim Chaney left, and they look silly now. Like, I don't mind making fun of them there, and then associating Ray UGA with them, but there's a line, and I kind of draw that line when we're talking about wins and losses, because I don't really have anything to say. I can't. What I'm gonna do? Keep showing them the Juwan Jennings Hail Mary?
Well, put it like that instead of bringing up the 41-0 game. That brings back bad memories.
It was in front of Peyton, man.
Hush. I don't want to talk about it. It's
Peyton
a Friday. It's Valentine's Day. We're trying to spread love, and you are bringing up hate.
In front of Peyton, though.
Peyton's bad luck anyways.
No, he's not.
When was the last time he was present for a win?
He's not bad luck. There's nothing to do with it.
Bad juju.
It's one thing, like, to lose in front of Peyton. It's another thing to, like, not have a pulse against a team when Peyton is in attendance. That's what I'm saying.
Did you see – I'm changing the subject. I know it's your show, but I'm changing the subject because I don't want to think about losing the Georgia.
One Swain event, man. It's your show, too.
Fake news. Did you see the comments from the XFL commissioner saying that in the future, teams in the league have the ability to sign a college freshman or sophomore? And he also added that we haven't dipped our toe in that pond, but we could in the future.
Yeah, I saw those comments.
Do you think it would be more beneficial for, let's take a guy like Trevor Lawrence, not even a guy of that stature, maybe even like Harrison Bailey. Do you think it'd be more beneficial for Harrison Bailey to go play in the XFL and thrive there over thriving in the SEC? I'm asking legitimately because there is, it's like everybody.
I'm about to swing on you.
That's fine. Let me finish my point. Like Zion, and I know this is college basketball, but everybody was like, "Oh, Zion should just go play overseas professionally."
Finish him.
Overseas professionally for a year and make money while playing. But there's also the other side of the coin that if Zion doesn't go to Duke, I mean, he doesn't get the pub that he got, because Zion had hype going into his freshman season at Duke because he was a 5-star freshman and the dunks that he had in high school. But as an overall basketball player, his brand grew because he went to Duke. So I'm not necessarily talking about like their performance as a football player, but their brand and their stock, I guess. I almost think it'd be more beneficial to play in college in that sense than go play in the XFL. And like, I'm not watching the XFL a ton unless I just have a bunch of free time. I'm sitting down and designating 3 hours to watch every SEC football game. That makes sense?
It does. If I'm a promising freshman, promising sophomore, and we've seen guys flash as freshmen here at Tennessee, and we can say, okay, yeah, he's going to be an NFL player in a couple of years. We can use Henry To'oTo'o, for example. Why in the heck would a Henry To'oTo'o want to go play in the XFL after his freshman year when all he has to do is wait 2 more years and be a first-round overall pick? It's not like the XFL is or would be able to drop a ton of cash. Now, it'd be more than what I guess you're currently making.
Well, it depends on where you go to school.
Shh, man, stop. I just think the commissioner made those comments. I get it, like he could be able to get freshman, sophomore, but like who? I wouldn't do that. I'm not doing that. I'd rather stay in college.
I would too.
But I would rather stay in college. XFL, that's different than going overseas for 1 year.
Yeah.
Like if you're a high school player, high school phenom, and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do college. Cool. Go overseas 1 year and then boom, you're in the NBA. Like that makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing in the XFL. I'm not hurting my body for this chump change.
Well, how many games do they play? I want to say they play fewer games than college teams do.
I'm good.
Because they've played till, what, April?
I mean, you're going to get treated a whole lot better in college, depending on what school you go to, Ben. You said that, then the XFL. I'm good. I'm not doing that.
But if the XFL could pony up and make some strong blank offers, they could be in business.
Well, the XFL need to hire Will Wade then.
I agree.
Over $100,000 will probably make a freshman or a sophomore think about it. Over $100,000.
Yeah.
But I don't see that being something that we see happen a lot. That's all I'm saying. And the XFL needs that. Like, they need that for us to watch that product consistently. We watched it last week because there was nothing else on. We watched it last week because it was the first weekend without football. We were desperate.
I didn't even really watch it.
We were desperate last week.
Maybe that's a me thing, but.
And maybe more people will watch it as time goes on because maybe we don't really miss football yet because we just finished up football, NFL football with the Super Bowl. But as that league, as the league grows, they're going to have to get some draws. Like, I'm sorry, but Aaron Murray's not the biggest draw. He wasn't that good.
I don't care to watch Landry Jones play. I know he was hurt and didn't play because of a back injury, I think it is. But I watched Landry Jones play plenty for my Pittsburgh Steelers, and that was miserable enough. I don't want to tune in and watch him throw to receivers that aren't as talented as Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown.
They need names, man. They need names. And they might need to start taking some guys who are kicked out of the NFL, some character guys, because names sell. I mean, you look at the NBA and how they promote games. Zion versus James Harden. Ja versus, names sell these games and viewership. And I don't know how the XFL will be able to do that with a bunch of dudes that we don't know. So, good luck there. Get it? Oliver Luck is the commissioner. Good luck. Whatever. Hour 3 coming up.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event is taking you behind the scenes and in the huddle every morning from 7 till 10 right here.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
While the players are gearing up for the gridiron, it's time for you to get geared up at Alumni Hall. Find the best selection of Nike, Nike Golf, Peter Millar, and all of those retro logos you love. And the 2 for $28 t-shirt deal? Game changer. And don't forget about the rest of your game day crew. There are plenty of options for the entire family and to upgrade that tailgate. Shop now at one of their 6 convenient locations in Tennessee or 24/7 at alumnihall.com. It's football time in Tennessee.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing that new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Member NCUA.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Well, look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. Every design has you, the fan, in mind. Their tumblers and bottles are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the market. From stainless steel sippy cups to tumblers and sports bottles, Game Time Sidekicks offers something for the fan of all ages to rep their team with. They have many different logo options, so fans will have something they are proud to carry around all the time. Use promo code SWAIN at checkout to get 20% off of your entire purchase at GameTimeSidekicks.com. They also offer $5 flat rate shipping. Be sure to check out the Game Time Workshop on the website and customize your tumbler to make it one of a kind with things like your nickname, number, or initials. Game Time Sidekicks. Show your colors and carry your team.
You're listening to the Swain event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue. Check them out online at deadendbbq.com.
Hour 2 is brought to you by Alumni Hall and alumnihall.com. It is time for Hour 3, the last hour of the week. My goodness, this week has flown by. And we start Hour 3 here on the Swain event, going to the hotline, and we'll get to Turkey Man. Turkey Man is on line 1 there. Turkey Man, good morning.
Good morning, individual.
Good morning, individual.
Valentine.
It's Valentine's Day, man.
Love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, you was talking about not making fun or throwing shade at Georgia, but Kirby Smart, you didn't have no problem with a little bit. I want to point out a situation. I hope we don't fall in that same category. I honestly feel, and I think the Fields situation showed that they had a real talented quarterback at Georgia. I do not believe Kirby would have made the switch from Easton to Fromm if Easton hadn't got hurt. I think luck fallen in place for him to do that, and I think you've seen very much the similar situation of what happened with Fields and Fromm. And I think that is the hardest hurdle for a lot of coaches makes and breaks. And I was wondering, we had 2 terrible losses, worst losses in our history of being, with Georgia State and BYU. And we had the same players and everything in place start of the season as we did at the end of the season. Why was we not as prepared as we needed to be at the first of the season as we were at the end of the season? And that's my question for the day. Guys, have a good one.
Oh, that was on Jeremy Pruitt.
It's a good question, Turkey Man.
It's simple as that. I mean, Pruitt talked about, make sure everybody plays, getting other guys in there. I mean, that's code for, hey, we're going to beat this team by a lot, so we're going to play the backups. And that loss was on Pruitt. and he admitted it. They
took him for granted. They took him too lightly. Simple. I don't know about the BYU game taking them too lightly.
No,
but
didn't.
They took Georgia State too lightly. Tennessee lost to BYU because Jarrett Garantano did not play well. I know Alontae Taylor and Nigel Warrior had the gaff there at the end of the game. Tennessee's defense allowed 2 touchdowns on 2 possessions in overtime. But Nigel Warrior, Alontae Taylor, Tennessee's defense is not put in that situation if Jarrett Garantano plays to his capability there in the first half. That game should have been put away long before it even got to that point. There were so many missed throws, points left on the field from that football game that the defense never should have been put in that situation. So I bring that up to say that they recovered fairly well as a team from the Georgia State loss, about as well as you can. But unfortunately, the quarterback did not play well, and as a result, you lost. Georgia State, they probably prepared for BYU and Florida too much leading up to that game.
Yeah, I mean, you learn a lesson there, and just talking with people kind of about this season. One thing that keeps coming up is, does Tennessee finish as strong as they did if you didn't lose to Georgia State and BYU? Because I think it's easy to assume, oh man, Tennessee should have been a 10-win team this year.
I agree.
Well, that's easy to say that, but do they have the same sense of urgency in the Mississippi State South Carolina game if they didn't lose those games? Because when you lose games like that, you look at yourself in the mirror from the top to the bottom, head coach all the way down to the walk-on players.
Absolutely agree.
And that's what happens. Everyone looked in the mirror. So who truly knows if Tennessee would have won 10 games if they beat Georgia State, BYU? I think they would have dropped one of the other games that they won.
Probably, I would say the Kentucky game.
Maybe.
Well, I can't say the Indiana game because Tennessee probably doesn't get to that game in the first place. But
yeah, maybe. Michigan in 2007 started 0-2. We know who they lost to first, right?
Appalachian State.
They lost to Appalachian State. The next week, they lost to Oregon. Both games at home. And then they won 8 in a row. They beat Notre Dame 38-0. Beat Penn State, who was ranked 10th. They beat Northwestern. That's not hard. Eastern Michigan. That's not hard. Purdue. That's not hard. Illinois. That's not hard. Minnesota. Michigan State 28-24. This is 2007. And then they lost to Wisconsin at Wisconsin. And then you know what happens when they play Ohio State. They lose, right? So they lost to Ohio State, but then they won in their bowl game. So 2007 Michigan kind of had a season like Tennessee. Had a nice, easy stretch there in the middle where you had 5, 6, 7, 8 games of good play. You won those games, got to a bowl game, and won it. And so I'm pretty sure those Michigan fans there in 2007 were like, oh, man, we could have won 10 games this year. We could have won 11 games this year. You know who the offense coordinator was that year? Mike DeBoer.
Do you want to be frustrated this morning?
Sure. Yeah, man.
Tell me whether this is a win or loss for Tennessee in 2020, this upcoming season. You bring up football schedule, made me think of this point.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if this is a win or loss for Tennessee if they were to play these games. At Georgia Tech.
Win.
All right. Put one finger up. You want to raise that for the camera?
No.
Louisville.
That'd be a tough one.
Home versus Louisville. Second year, Scott Satterfield. Defense is terrible.
All right. What? I got 2 fingers up.
Akron.
Oh yeah, that's a win.
Home versus Virginia.
Ooh.
Tennessee is beating Virginia.
Parkinson was a senior last year, right? The quarterback.
Yep. And they lose their best corner in Bryce Hall.
That'd be a good game.
Tennessee would win at home.
Okay, when?
At Boston College on a Friday night.
Friday night?
They remember they have a new coach.
All right, that's 5.
At Florida State.
Oh, that's 6. Sorry, Yak.
Home versus NC State.
Against Dave Dorn? Oh, undefeated, man. He can't even win more than 8 games with 5 first-round picks.
All right, what's that, 6?
I ran out of middle fingers.
I saw that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. What about home versus Syracuse?
That's probably, I don't know, man. Are you reading Clemson's schedule?
I am.
Oh, man.
So I think that'd be 8-0 with a win over Syracuse. And then they would go at Notre Dame. I'd probably chalk that one up as a loss.
Yeah, Notre Dame's good.
Just since I'm giving Tennessee the benefit of the doubt in these other games, I'll close L. 8-1.
I don't know, man. Chip Long might give us the edge, though.
That's right. The Citadel, 9-1.
Yeah.
At Wake Forest.
Well, they don't have Jamie Newman anymore, so
We'll go 10-1.
Yeah.
And then South Carolina at home to end the year. 11-1. Tennessee would be 11-1 on paper with Clemson's 2020 football schedule. Isn't that just infuriating to think about? But instead, Clemson will have a walk, a hop and a skip to the college football playoffs. And then, no, it doesn't even end there to get to the college football playoffs, because you know what? Their ACC championship game opponent will be some crappy team too.
I mean, let's see here. More than likely, they're going to play either Virginia Tech, Pitt, North Carolina, Miami, Duke, or Georgia Tech in the ACC championship game.
Which one of those teams scares you?
North Carolina.
Oh, please. Actually, you're right. They had that quarterback, Sam Howell.
Yeah, that we wanted.
Yes.
And that should have beat Clemson this year.
Yep.
So,
but Tennessee would still beat North Carolina. Sam Howell has nothing on Jarrett Garantano.
I'm trying to make up for throwing him on the bus early in the show. You ain't slick. Who's on the phone?
Buck Nasty.
Buck Nasty, good morning.
What's going on, Swain?
What's up, Buck Nasty?
Competition is the best thing for everybody.
That is true.
So just like D.R. Voss sent y'all a little card or whatever, trying to win over y'all's love and affection, I sent you a little something too.
Where did you send it?
To the studio.
That's weird. I didn't give you my Venmo username.
No, it wasn't nothing like that. Just don't be alarmed when a firewoman shows up. Nothing's on fire. Just she's holding a boombox. Just be excited, okay?
It ain't Ben's bachelor's party, is it?
Kind of like that.
I ain't answering that phone. I mean, I'm not answering that door. No. You get me in trouble.
Well, that's what I was calling in about the XFL thing. It offers a competition for kids. If anything, it may speed up the NCAA allowing players to be paid by their life.
Yeah, the NCAA is clueless. They're asking Congress for answers. They have no clue what they're doing right now. So, yeah, man.
Okay, just say the XFL offers a kid enough money the first year that would pay for 4 years of college. Which way you gonna go?
It depends on my situation. You know, it really does. Like if I'm from a single parent household, or even not, like my family's homeless, something like that. Hey, 1 year college, I'm out. I'm going to the XFL, and then I'm trying to take care of my family for those 2 years and bust my butt. Try to go to the NFL. I just think it depends on the situation. I just know for me, I wouldn't do it.
What about JUCO players? Somebody like a Cordero Patterson or Alvin Kamara?
But even with those guys, XFL really wouldn't be attractive to those guys because they could spend that 1 year in college. Now, you can get paid that 1 year in XFL, But when you're in college, you're going to have a bigger platform. You're going to have more exposure. That's the reason why, folks like me decide to go to places like Tennessee instead of HBCUs, because you get more exposure.
Don't tell Charlamagne that.
Hey, man.
Do you think Bill Belichick's licking his chops over this XFL deal if freshmen and sophomores go to, or just say anybody transfers, instead of going through the transfer portal, goes to the XFL instead, and then will those kids have an opportunity to come to the combine?
Man, but Nancy, you got off the exit. You on some back roads now. I gotta process all this. So, if a kid in college decides to go to the transfer portal, and instead of going back to school, they just go to the XFL. I missed you on the turn. What turn are we on now?
We're on the one about them getting invited to the combine.
All right.
And Bill Belichick licking his lip.
All right, I made a wrong turn at the roundabout. Okay. I think Bill Belichick will always look for, ways to improve his roster and different ways to get an advantage. So, yeah, Bill Belichick will be licking his shop. No doubt about it. You get cheap players who are younger that have potential. Absolutely, Bill Belichick will take advantage of that. I just don't think that we're going to see a lot of folks take advantage of going to the XFL early. I just don't.
I just know on my behalf, if it would have been me and say I was put in that position, that an 18-year-old coming out of high school and someone offered me $100,000 to $200,000, I know which way that I would have went just because of the way that we was brought up from kids. We didn't know what that kind of money was.
Yeah.
Or anything like that when we was coming up.
But you got to think about it.
I know what that could do. Or think even a kid like Josh Jacobs who's homeless, and they'd pay you $100,000 or whatever. Yeah, you jump all over that.
Think about this too, Bug Nasty. There's a team in L.A. Okay? Think about living in L.A. and 40% of that money is gone because of taxes. So you offer me, $200,000, you're taking 40%. Okay, I got $120,000, and then you live in LA. You're gonna be broke in LA as a professional athlete.
And also, Josh Jacobs made more than $100,000 at Alabama his first couple seasons there.
Amen to that, Ben. I understand that. That's why I'm saying it all benefits the players in this situation. If the XFL's offering $100,000, Saban's going to offer $2,000. And Kirby comes over the top with a brand new Raptor truck and $300,000.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Great graffiti to go down the side of
it. Welcome to Atlanta.
Tinted windows and everything.
All right, guys, that's all I was want to call in about. I just thought I'd holler at you a little bit. Y'all have a happy Valentine's Day.
Hey, thank you, man. You too. I need my navigation to get back on track.
We got Dave Tona.
Dave Tona, good morning.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man?
Just a little chilly up here in Maryville/Alcoa.
Yeah, your energy is a little bit different, Dave Tona, now that you are amongst us East Tennesseans up here. It's nice and cold and wet.
Yeah, well, I don't have to worry about that fake job.
That's right, man. You don't have to ask for time off.
Yeah, we got in about 11-something last night.
How long was the drive?
I didn't drive.
Oh, you flew. Ooh, woo!
Yeah, I can't do that driving stuff, Selena.
I understand, man. So you're right
By the
there.
time I get to Jacksonville, I'm done.
You right there. Alcoa Maryville Airport right there. Oh, man, that's VIP.
How far is the drive from Daytona?
From Daytona to here's what, about 8 hours?
You didn't stay.
9 hours.
You didn't stay for the Daytona 500 this weekend?
Heck no.
Speaking
when they
of,
have those big events down there, us locals leave.
Swain, who do you have in the Daytona 500 this weekend?
The car that drives the fastest.
That's right, Swain. That's always the winner.
Who do you think will have the fastest car?
The driver that's in it.
Yeah, the car that doesn't have to take the most pit stops.
Sorry, guys, we're playing pool because we're fixing to go get our hustle on and make some money.
Y'all, the pool hall at 9 In the morning?
No, well, I'm at my best friend's house down in the basement shooting some pool.
At 9 in the morning?
Well, hey, it's Friday night. We're going out tonight. We're going to have to hustle some folks, so might as well get some practice in.
Friday night, it's 9:20.
No, tonight he's getting practicing in for tonight.
Okay, smart man. He's doing a better job than Tennessee did prior to Georgia State.
That's interesting right there. Well, Daytona, we'll get together, my friend.
All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.
I remember that Will Smith episode there in Fresh Prince when Will Smith went down to the pool hall and got hustled and had to get Uncle Phil to come bail him out. Uncle Phil brought out that old school stick that was in the case and got Will's money back. That's what Pap gonna do tonight.
I need Netflix or Hulu or somebody to please, for the love of everything, put Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on your streaming service.
Man, that would be the best.
I will pay extra for 2 or 3 months to just watch that.
That would be extra. That would be amazing.
Amazing or extra?
Extra amazing. All right, who we got next?
Triple O.
Triple O, good morning. Extra amazing. How about that?
Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Uncle Phil, man.
I know.
That's one of my favorite characters ever.
Yeah. He was the only dad that J. Cole knew.
That's true.
Yeah, I said it in the lyric. Said it in the lyrics.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil.
Man, just that and Winslow's. You put that on Hulu. I paid $25 a month for that.
Hey man, I'll use your login for that.
Hey, you virtually family, so you could.
I'll chip in $2.
Appreciate it.
Only thing I ask for is a Pepsi every other week.
You got it.
You like the cherry Pepsi or the regular one?
I like regular, man. That cherry can go.
I'm surprised you said Pepsi, but that's another story for a different day.
That's a good point too.
Who drinks Coke, man? Coke is nasty.
Everybody, Triple O.
We're also
I don't.
Everybody drinks Coke. I don't really drink soda, so whatever.
Man, that's like drinking Kool-Aid and no sugar to me. I can't stand the taste of it, man. I used to love it as a kid. You know how you used to love something as a kid?
I'm not letting this conversation go to soft drinks. I ain't letting it happen. Let's talk about Matthew Stafford getting traded. Let's talk about that.
Well, choosing Pepsi is like being a Lions fan, though.
He's not going to get traded, and here's the reason why. First of all, they already done told the coach and the GM that you better win next year or you ain't going to be around. So how are you going to take your only great asset that you have on offense, along with Kenny Galladay, and trade him and cause yourself a $32 million deficit? If we trade or cut him, that's a $32 million cap hit because they actually converted some of his money into a signing bonus earlier this offseason, which means that they definitely plan on keeping him around. So for everybody talking about we're going to trade Stafford, it's not financially worthy for us to try to trade him. It don't make any sense. And everybody talking about this, and whoever you hear that from, somebody own that dust.
I made a
somebody
mistake.
owns something that ain't right.
I made a mistake. I should have never asked you anything about Detroit Lions football.
No, you shouldn't have.
No. Because, you can't trade Stafford, man. Maybe in a couple years, yeah, but not this year. The cap hit is too much high.
I shouldn't.
It's $32 million. It's $32 million, Swain.
I got you going, man.
Can you give us an update on Jalen Reeves-Maybin, the only Lion we care about?
And Justin Coleman.
Well,
Justin
actually, to be honest with you, I think Jalen Reeves-Maybin should have made the Pro Bowl as a special teamer, man. That's just my opinion. I thought he got snubbed. That's just my saying.
Yeah.
What about Justin Coleman?
Coleman, man, he started out hot. Then he was garbage for about 6 weeks, but he got better towards the end of the year. But we know this much: he don't need to be playing on the outside. He's a slot dude. If he ain't in the slot, I don't want him on the field. Slot or bust. I don't want him outside no more.
I made a mistake. I shouldn't have brought up Detroit Lions football. I'm getting sleepy.
Well, first of all, look here, 6'1" bareheaded boo boo. You ain't got no room to talk with your. At least I got a quarterback. You don't even got that. You got a great defense and nothing else. Your kicker sucks. Your quarterback sucks. Even your punter sucks.
The quarterback is all you have, and he can't stay healthy.
I guarantee you this much: he's better than any Bears quarterback you ever had. Boy, you about to make me have a panic attack.
You got acid reflux this morning. You got acid reflux this morning. You got some gas this morning.
I'm gonna have to take some Tums. Nah, man, but put it like this. Hey, but at least we're not Minnesota. At least y'all not Minnesota either.
I mean, Minnesota went to the playoffs this year, had a dang good team.
Yeah, but they minus $12 million over the cap. They $12 million over the cap, not under the cap. They $12 million over the cap. That means that before they even make a draft pick, because you got to have about $8 million, for your draft pick.
What did you call me?
Called you 6'1" bald-headed boo boo. Like Yogi the Bird sidekick, boo boo.
Oh, okay.
Because you sidekicking them Birds all the time. You talking smack and you didn't make the playoffs either.
Oh, okay. That was a good one. I was wondering who you was talking about. Boo boo. Okay.
He's 6'1" bald-headed boo boo.
That was a good one. Triple O. That was a good one.
Well, you got me, man. You got me being a Detroit Lions Fat Albert, man. So I think it's all good.
All right, Triple O, man. Happy Valentine's Day, my friend. Number love.
Happy Valentine's. Much love, brother.
See you.
He called you a 6'1" bald-headed boo boo.
I have no comeback for that. Jay says Family Matters is on Hulu. So for those that care about that. Jay also says Bubba Wallace is a Tennessee fan. I don't watch NASCAR, but I pull for him because of that. Yeah, Bubba Wallace was here when Butch was here and had a smoky gray racing helmet and all those things. Wes Brown tried to get me to understand how cool NASCAR is, and Wes Brown explained to me it's better to go to the races than watch it on TV.
That's a fact.
But I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit there and be watching people drive in circles. I'm not doing that. I can watch my wife do that without having directions in a city that we're not from.
Really? You gonna make that comment on Valentine's Day?
She ain't listening.
I know people who she works with that listen.
They won't snitch. They loyal to the Swain event. They won't tell her. We good. 865-255-03. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Due to a special purchase, Beatty Chevrolet has over 100 pre-owned crossovers and SUVs at tremendous savings during the $1 Million Markdown event. 100 crossovers and SUVs from Chevrolet, Ford, Nissan, Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, Mazda, and more. All makes and models starting at $89.95. And we'll buy your vehicle on the spot. Plus, get the Beatty warranty for life during the $1 Million Markdown. Only at Beatty Chevrolet in Knoxville or shop BeattyChevrolet.com. Sale prices plus tax, title, and license.
Do you want a custom themed tumbler or bottle to show off your team spirit every day of the week? Then look no further than Game Time Sidekicks. All of their bottles and tumblers are double-walled, vacuum-insulated stainless steel, and their quality is second to none in the tumbler market. New this year are their stemless 12-ounce tumblers, perfect for repping your team while enjoying your favorite wine. They also have new 3-in-1 jackets to use as a koozie for a can or bottle, or you can pop a lid on it and use it as a 12-ounce tumbler or coffee cup. Be sure to check out everything Game Time Sidekicks has to offer at GameTimeSidekicks.com. Game Time Sidekicks, helping fans show your colors and carry your team with unique gear you will actually use. With smartphones being such an integral part of our daily lives, it is truly an inconvenience when it doesn't work properly. It disrupts the normalcy of our day. when you go into the cell phone store to have it repaired, they just try to upsell you on a new phone. That's why the owner of iDrop, TKL, left those places and opened iDrop. His goal is a happy customer. TKL and the team will listen to what you have going on and work to solve the problem of your broken device in a way that best suit your needs, instead of trying to upsell you on something that you just don't need. They don't just repair phones, they can service your laptop or PC as well as your Mac. Windows 7 support is over, but iDrop can help you transition to Windows 10. They have a 5-star rating on Google with hundreds of positive reviews. Let me say that again. I don't think y'all understand how big this is. They have a 5-star rating on Google. Their customer service really speaks for itself. So if you ever find yourself with a device that isn't performing as it should, give iDrop a call at 865-888-9740 or check them out on Facebook at iDrop of Knoxville. If man made it, they can fix it. JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
Eight 255-03 B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. I know you don't like those insults about your host, your favorite sports host. I know you don't like that. I know you got my back. You got my back. I know you got my back, folks. Triple O, that was distasteful. It was disrespectful. It would not be allowed on this program again. And the listeners of the Swain Event holding you accountable for assaulting verbally their favorite co-host and host.
I like that shirt. Where'd you get it from?
Where do you think I got it from, man?
Alumni Hall.
Alumni Hall. It's one fly, we all fly. Long sleeve. Smoky gray. Orange letters. Alumni Hall, man. It's basketball time. Tomorrow, Tennessee plays South Carolina. I gotta get some Lady Vol gear, man.
I almost bought a Lady Vol sweatshirt last time I was in there.
Baby blue?
No, it was gray with just the logo on it.
Yeah, I gotta rock some Lady Vol gear. I gotta represent for my Lady Vols. I know they're not doing what we want them to do, and you know Kelly Harper is taking a roster that's not hers.
People fail to realize that for some reason.
It's not her roster.
I could go on a 10-minute rant, but I digress.
How about you go 10 inches to the right and push line 1 and give us our next phone caller? How about you do that?
Why don't you remember who I told you was on the line?
I don't know, man. I forgot. I'm over here.
You should have been listening to me instead of tweeting during the break.
I'm over here still trying to recover from Triple OG's insult, man.
No, you were over there tweeting. I have never met anybody in my life who cannot listen and tweet/text at the same time worse than you.
Who could do that?
I do it all the time.
There's no way you can do all three of them and pay attention to all three of them the same. There's no way.
Well, you're only doing two things at once. You're only listening and I was saying sending a text or tweeting.
You can't do both.
I every time I see you texting or typing over there, I just know to just save my comment to myself and try to jot it down and remember it for later for when you get off your phone.
Don't sound like a mad girlfriend over there. You don't listen to me.
It's Valentine's Day and you're not treating me properly, Swain.
Who's on the phone?
Joe and Augusta and the Nealon Mafia.
Joe and Augusta. That's right. You did say that. Joe, good morning.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What's up, man?
Just kind of back in town from last weekend.
How'd it go?
It went all right. We, you know how you go to the well one too many times? On Monday, I was up about 2 or 3 bills, and life was good. And I was headed back to town on Tuesday. And I'd taken Wednesday off as kind of a jet lag day. And the woman said, I'm not leaving till Wednesday. Why don't you hang around? And I was like, that sounds great. I'll do that. So I changed my flight, and that was $150. And then it was like from there, the casino was like, hey, you hung around, didn't you? You're an idiot.
Hey, everybody. Hey, newsflash. Hey, look at Big Dummy who just won a bunch of money. He's staying around. We're going to get our money back.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, man.
We had a good time, though.
Happened to me, too, man.
Yeah, it happens to everybody. It was rough. Last night, I woke up from a nap after work. I kind of looked around, and I was like, oh, crap, what time is it? I got to go downstairs and get a parlay in. And then it was like, wait a minute, I'm still in Georgia.
Yeah.
But the parlays treated me well. I did good on sports. Man, when Kentucky was losing to Vanderbilt, I was loaded because I had loaded up on a parlay, and I was fixing to get on Twitter and eat them people alive. I was so pissed off about that.
Did you put money on?
And they come back.
Did you put money on Tennessee running the table in the SEC basketball?
I did not, but I did win money on them. I did win money on the Arkansas game.
Ah, there you go.
Triple OG. He ought to know if it's going to be a massive cap hit and a horrible decision to trade Stafford financially, that the Lions are going to do that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
They're going to send him away for like a pile of beans and a cow.
Absolutely. It's the Lions.
Other than that, man, y'all have a good weekend. Hey, man, go Vols.
Thank you, man. Thanks for the phone call. Glad you made it back safe.
Would you take Matthew Stafford as your quarterback?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. Absolutely. No hesitation. I'll take Phillip Rivers right now. There's a lot of quarterbacks I would take right now.
What about Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson?
Shut up. Neil Mafia's next. Neil Mafia, good morning.
Roses are red. Violets are blue. A crackhead going to get a job before Butch Jones do. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Lane Kiffin's still a punk, and Orgeron too. Roses are red, and the trees are pine. Man, we could have beat Bama, but JG lost his damn mind. And my last one. Roses are red. You know what? I got the thirst. Courtney Dunbar was fine, but I smashed Candace Parker first.
Oh.
Come on, go ahead, giggle.
Oh.
You know you want to.
Oh, man. I do want to giggle. Oh, man. Oh, man, Neil Mafia. Oh, man.
Now, I got a serious question.
What you got?
Who have you been more surprised with their development this year? Pons or Fulkerson? And why?
You can't ask a serious question after that.
Sure I can.
No.
Okay.
No.
Let me recover.
It's Bandit. I can barely hear talking. He's laughing fit to beat everything.
Say the question again. I'm trying to recover.
All right. Here we go. Whose development have you been more surprised by this year? Fulkerson or Pons? And why?
So I have a question for you. I need your email address because when I get these emails, I need to forward them to you. All right, then, Mom, just drop your email in my DMs, and when I get these emails from people, I'm gonna forward them to you. Okay, deal?
I didn't say nothing dirty. If people got a dirty mind, that's on them.
That's a good question, though. The last part of the phone call, good questions there. Good question. Wow. I'll probably say Pons, not because I think Folky is better or not better or whatever, but when Rick Barnes brought in the class that Folky was about, or part of, he said that Folky could wind up being better than Grant Williams. He saw that in him at the beginning, and I think Pons has come a longer way. Like, we saw part of this game with Folky last year. We saw some of it, when he was in. He wasn't in as much because Grant Williams and Kyle Alexander was in. But we saw part of that game from Fulke last year. We didn't see Pons even shoot the ball being wide open from 3 last year. And this year he's taking the shots. There was a sequence where he took a 3, missed it. Someone got the rebound, passed it back out to him, and he shot it again. That would have never happened last year.
And then on defense, it's every game this year.
Yeah.
Every game, Yves Pons turns in a terrific performance on the defensive end. Last year, the blocks were exciting, but he has blocked a shot in every single game this season. Every single game. And we're 24 games into the season. Or Saturday will be 25. We're not 5 games into the year. The season's almost over. And he's blocked a shot in every single game.
Are we going to get in trouble with Nila Mafia's comment?
I'm sure somebody will comment, but...
Was it okay?
We didn't say it. That's all I care about.
I mean, it wasn't a cuss word, but...
No.
You think Courtney Dunbar let me borrow some money?
She has asked me many times. Did you hear Rick Barnes talk about Yves Pons yesterday in the NBA?
What did he say?
He talked about his NBA stock. I'm telling you, he is going to have a decision to make at the end of the year.
Yeah, he will, man. Humanities or the ad campus? What classes will he take?
Or the communications building.
Swain event. Be right back.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Fellas, I have a very important question to start the new year. Have you noticed a lack of energy, motivation, and drive? It could be from low T, or it could be from something else, like sleep apnea, or even low thyroid. Start your new year healthier with a quick and easy health assessment at Low T Center. They treat more than just low T, including sleep apnea, low thyroid, and more. It's covered by most health insurance. If you've been feeling tired, grumpy, have weight gain, or loss of muscle, call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling because you'll know that you're in love.
For a limited time only, Hiller is offering 0% interest financing for up to 48 months on qualifying high-efficiency HVAC systems. With no down payment required, expert installations, and convenient monthly payments, now is the perfect time to schedule. Visit happyhiller.com today.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Knoxville. It's your boy, Big Will, from Old Ben Franklin Motors, Alcoa, Tennessee, 911 Louisville Road. Yes, it's the holiday season again. Uncle Sam season, y'all. Income tax time. It's the holiday. So bring your last check stub or your W-2 to 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Old Ben Franklin Motors. Come see Big Will. And we're going to give you a free vacation if you buy a car. Bring your W-2 or your last check stub. Like I said, the 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee. Old Ben Franklin Motors. Ask for Big Wheel. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Guess what? You know we're going to get you approved. Call me now. 865-980-8216. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Set up your appointment and we will get you approved. Turn down for what?
For what is coming up on the Swain event.
B-Dry is celebrating 60 years of protecting homes across the U.S. They are the basement and crawl space experts. There has been historic rainfall in East Tennessee recently. If you are experiencing wet foundation walls, puddles on your floor, or water where your floor and wall meet, then you should call B-Dry. They have over 500,000 customers nationwide. B-Dry gives free estimates for all homeowners, financing is available, and if you mention the Swain event, B-Dry will give you $500 off a full perimeter basement waterproofing solution. Wet basement? Better call B-Dry, 865-588-0454 or online at bdry.com.
Knoxville. It's your boy, Big Will, from Old Ben Franklin Motors, Alcoa, Tennessee, 911 Louisville Road. Yes, it's the holiday season again. Uncle Sam season, y'all. Income tax time. It's the holiday. So bring your last check stub or your W-2 to 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Old Ben Franklin Motors. Come see Big Will, and we're going to give you a free vacation if you buy a car. Bring your W-2 or your last check stub. Like I said, the 911 Louisville Road, Alcoa, Tennessee, Old Ben Franklin Motors. Ask for Big Will. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Guess what? You know we gonna get you approved. Call me now, 865-980-8216. Good credit, bad credit, slow credit. Set up your appointment and we will get you approved. Turn down for what?
There are articles and news stories that you read about the things that people do. And when you're reading those and you start to shake your head, you start to scratch your head a little bit. You get confused. You don't understand why. You start to ask questions. But really, there's only one question that matters. What is that question, you may ask?
For what?
All right, so we got For What here in the Swain event, and just got one. Hour 3 is powered by Low T Center and lowtcenter.com, reinventing men's healthcare. So my For What goes to a Twitter account yesterday that decided to tweet out a video of a football camp and a one-on-one rep. Go get it. YFT. It's a video of 2022 St. Thomas Aquinas offensive lineman who will be one of the best players in the country, and he's going up against a defensive end in a pass rushing drill. So the defensive end tries to go off the edge. The O-line basically grabs him and slings him down in the direction of where the quarterback would be in the game. And I'm giving For What to all these folks that tweet these unrealistic football reps from camps. Like, you're not helping these young men.
Hurting
it's
them.
So unrealistic. And yesterday, many people in the football world shared their displeasure with the video. Starting with my favorite football ESPN personality, and that is Louis Riddick. I hope he was the Bears GM. He says, "This is the dumbest football video I've ever seen for so many reasons. What are we even doing here?" Former Miami Hurricane NFL veteran Earl Little Sr. says, "There's nothing technically good about the O-line in this clip. Feet and hand placement, thumbs down. The DN beat him with the spin move, and he held him. Slammed the kid and walked away like he was a good rep. Let's help correct these flaws and stop praising bad fundamentals." Former NFL player Trey Thomas, this is from Saturday Down South, by the way. He says, "Okay, so here's a quick breakdown for someone who's played this position. He steps upfield with his outside foot, which is a big no-no. Now he's behind. He's trying to recover, overcommits, giving up the inside, and throws the rusher into the quarterback. Why is this L being celebrated?" Green Bay Packers starting tackle says he just threw him into a sack. I'm so annoyed by these camp videos. And I used to run camps back in the day, and I got out of it for several reasons. But one reason was it's just so unrealistic, and so many people that don't have any idea how to play the game see the camp circuit as a moneymaker. And 7-on-7 has just went to another level. And so I believe in 7-on-7 and what you can accomplish with it within the framework of football but understand there's a 3-second clock, 4-second clock, and the ball has to be thrown away. Thrown in a certain amount of time, and there's no lineman, so you can't run a shadow cross at 0 yards because that's not realistic in a real football game. And the coverage on the outside is ridiculous. Where like a DB is basically nose to nose with a receiver, which is offsides. It's just ridiculous. So I'm giving all these camp videos a big for what? It's not real football. Stop it. Okay. Vol Nation will love this because this is hype. This is hype for you. So ESPN has their SP college football ranking. What does SP stand for, guys? Anyone know that? Is that
Strength and Power.
Is that Strength and Power rankings? Okay. Tennessee overall right now is at 19. But Tennessee's defense, and these are projections, Tennessee's defense, 7th in the country. Ooh. A lot of talent returning. 7th in the country, holding opponents to 14.8 points per game. If Tennessee's able to do that, there's no reason why you shouldn't be winning a ton of games. But will the quarterback help Tennessee average 15 points per game? That's my question. Offensively, the average they have is projected at, which is a big surprise here, 29.5 points per game, 56 in the country.
So Bill Connolly is the one that comes up with the SP Plus ratings for each season, and he has 3 primary factors in which he bases these projections. One is the returning production, based on players graduating, leaving for the pros, transferring, estimating improvement or regression based on these percentages and applying it to last year's ratings accounts for more than 50% of the overall numbers. Recent recruiting, recent history, and he says that it's a tempo and opponent-adjusted measure of college football efficiency. I created the system at Football Outsiders in 2008, and as my experience with both college football and its stats has grown, I've made quite a few tweaks to the system. It is intended to be predictive and forward-facing. This is important to remember. It is not a resume ranking that gives credit for big wins or particularly brave scheduling. No good predictive system is. So that's a little background on how he comes up with the rankings. Recent history, recent recruiting, and returning production.
I was tweeting there, and I was listening to you, Ben.
Recite every single word that I said.
I got the article right here in front of me, too. Last week, we published our initial returning productions for 2020. I got the same article right here in front of me, man. I can recite everything you just said. Trust me. Oh, man.
Keep laughing.
Who's on the phone?
Roger.
Roger! Happy Valentine's Day.
You too, man. Have Valentine's to you too, Jason. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man.
How you doing this morning?
I'm good.
Cool. Yeah, have Valentine's to you. To you all. I hope you have a good day today.
I hope so, too.
I hope you have a good Valentine's Day, Jason. Everybody out there to listen to you on the show, and so I'm to everybody out there. And I just wanted to ask you, Jason, about the game tomorrow. I don't know Tennessee played pretty well tonight. I just wanted to ask you how you see it doing that South Carolina tomorrow night, Jason.
Man, that's a good question, Roger. That's a good question. And Tennessee better have their tabs on Cuisinart. Did I say that right?
I think it's Quiznard.
Quiznard. Better have your antennas out on him because he's been given the keys to the South Carolina basketball team by Frank Martin. His confidence is through the roof right now. And he's aggressive, and he's making plays. And then also Coach Dar and 6'11", and so he'll be giving Fulke all that he wants. That's going to be a nice battle down low. And then you have A.J. Lawson who can shoot it, and he's shooting the ball well right now. He did not make a shot against Tennessee in the first meeting. So,
slaw.
All right. So it's going to be a great matchup between two coaches that respect each other, love each other, and kind of have the same approach when it comes to defense and playing tough. I remember last year, Frank Martin, several occasions, just said, man, Tennessee just bullied us, just beat us up, and just punked us. And I always liked the matchup between Frank Martin and Rick Barnes because there's just so much mutual respect. And both teams, you know, they preach and harp on toughness and defense and rebounding. So it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Keep on laughing. What you threatened me for, Ben? Was that a threat? Keep on laughing. Was that a threat? Ben, on Valentine's Day? In front of my friends?
You want to hear something crazy?
Yeah.
And I know you won't really care, but I just find this fascinating. Vanderbilt won the national championship in baseball last year, and the average player on the national championship team paid $19,000 in tuition, including the high draft picks. Isn't that crazy? Like, imagine Joe Burrow paying $19,000 in tuition last year.
There's something fundamentally wrong with that.
The NCAA just won't allow colleges to hand out 25 scholarships traditionally, like football, and obviously basketball doesn't hand out 25 scholarships a year, but
that don't make
baseball gets 14.2 scholarships, I believe, to distribute throughout a 35-man roster.
So basically, somebody like me is not playing baseball.
Not at Vanderbilt.
At Vanderbilt.
Nope. My buddy Kyle, who went to Vanderbilt, I know he and his family paid a lot, and he was the number 4 overall pick. Number 1 player in the state of Alabama.
Were they pretty well off, middle class, or?
I mean, they weren't struggling, but I mean, I'm sure it wasn't easy to pay for.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Tennessee Levi in the text box. Y'all crazy. I like you, but you crazy.
I have a comment, but I'm going to keep it to myself.
Movie Old School. Y'all crazy. I like you, dude, but you crazy.
Carmen says 11.7 scholarships for baseball. I knew it was somewhere around there. A ridiculous number.
Yeah, man. That ain't cool.
Like, imagine you being the number 1 player in the state of Alabama having to pay to go to Tennessee. And not just a little bit, a lot. That's crazy.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Thank you, Doug Fresh, for the message on the text box about Fresh Prince and all the good sitcoms. I have cut the cord, so I might look into that. DR Vol says, make sure you wish all the Tiger Vols a happy Valentine's Day. They need the encouragement. Come on, Devontae.
Memphis lost again last night. NIT team.
Tennessee, Memphis, and NIT.
Tennessee's making the tournament, baby. They're going to win out.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Heard it here first. They're going to beat Kentucky in Rupp. They're going to beat Auburn twice. They're going to beat Florida. They're going to beat South Carolina tomorrow. They're going to beat Arkansas on the road, Vanderbilt. Tennessee is going to win out.
Where's the NIT game between Memphis and Tennessee going to be played?
Madison Square Garden.
I hope in the finals that'd be fun. That'd be fun. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you have a great weekend. And in 9 months, you can name your kid Jason. For Ben McKee, I'm Jason Swain. Peace and love. Have a great day.
While the other guys are taking guesses, the Swain event